Yeah, it's okay to get excited now, for sure.
I don't think that you can
just need to be able to turn it at some point for tomorrow, right?
Still lock in for this series.
For me, usually a good thing to do is whatever happened today, you can like it's okay to feel today. Whatever happened today, it's okay to feel today. But when you wake up tomorrow, it needs to be tomorrow. You understand what I mean? At least that works for me pretty well. Whatever happens today, it's okay to feel today. And when I wake up tomorrow, yesterday is yesterday. Of course, they are in a very different position than we are. But I think that's a good way to look at it. Feel good about it today, but tomorrow is final, you know? Focus up. Karma Varus, Orianna. Big ones.
He looked like he was going to be leaving the team, then he came back. Ever since he returned to the team, he has really been on fire. And, you know, in the LPL, in the
Orianna Varus, big ones.
More so than anything else, it was about the top lane, right? And it wasn't just an isolated 1v1 between Bin and Xiaoshu. It was about Shun getting up there constantly, you know, being able to put that pressure on Xiaoshu. They really took advantage of this guy up in the top lane. And we'll see if they're going to be able to do that here today.
All right, well, starting off here, it's BLG selecting first pick, JDG selecting blue side. JDG is going to focus some of those powerful meta junglers at the very beginning.
So there's still Varus and there's still Orianna.
And on the other side,
I guess you ban Orianna here, and you give Varus. Unless you're willing to trade, but I don't know if you should give Knight Orianna, my feeling.
Almost counting as a double ban because often Ashe is only played with her, even though we have seen a couple exceptions to it.
Yeah, we have seen a couple exceptions, but definitely Enchanters are the name of the game. They are ridiculously powerful in this new season with the role quest increase.
So Orianna first pick then.
Just allows you to get to those
and Varus trade.
Where you super outscale.
That's what you got.
It's going to be a Poppy ban as the last ban here. I'm going to be interested to see where BLG wants to go.
Unless you go neither and you go Vi. That's the third option.
If we just saw, you know, an early Vi,
but then you give Orianna and Varus, maybe.
Especially with Pantheon and Xin Zhao already banned away, right? You look at, I know you're a big proponent of this conversation, how all of the junglers, all of the meta junglers these days
I would do the same.
AD bruiser types. So with two of the
I would for sure do the same.
Removed, the priority on the remaining ones just goes up.
So Orianna's going to be grabbed. Varus is another super high prio champion that is up and available. So now it feels like it is going to be a trade of the two. Okay. And the question is, do you want to try to deny the Nocturne trade, right? And so instead, it is going to be Jarvan plus that Varus. They are going to do that 1-for-1 trade. You are kind of expecting that Knockwave combo to be drafted for. We haven't
I like
really
Nocturne here.
See it, I think, at all this tournament practically, because it's always been.
If you don't want to play Nocturne, you can play Vi. If you don't want to play Vi, you can play Wukong.
Does get through. Oftentimes, it's what you were saying. The enemy team will then pick
probably Nocturne best
to deny that combo. So let's see if that's BLG's read, and certainly enough, it is. So Knockwave, that will definitely be a problem for an immobile AD carry like Varus.
Yep, absolutely true. But also, the same can be said for Orianna. You have Jarvan. If you don't have Flash, you can't really deal with the Cataclysm very easily. But someone who can deal with that Cataclysm would be the Ezreal, of course. You know, the premier pairing is the Karma, which was banned out by BLG, so they wouldn't be able to get that, but it would be a safe, stable AD carry here for Viper. The question is, you know, can you get a strong pairing alongside it if you want to go for it at all?
Gnar blind?
And instead,
Gnar blind?
It's looking like it's going to be a blind Gnar. To me, this is a nod to the
fact what's good into Gnar? I'm messed up. Okay, never mind.
You know,
he just insta-locked it.
I'm going to blind Gnar. It's all right. And I'm going to make sure that you're not going towards that Renekton where you would be.
He feels very confident about this.
When we're looking at not just the Gnar, but the pilot, Bin's last Gnar game, remember he played this in one of the games against G2, and he was a problem in that series all the way, but in the Gnar game also had some big plays, had some huge moments. He's really not afraid of being the guy who says, no, this fight can go longer, I can clutch this out, let's make this play.
And they've done a lot of cool things with Fearless where, you know, sometimes he is just blind picking Gnar, and then they'll ban Rumble and they'll blind Renekton in this next game, which are two of the kind of easiest answers to the Renekton, you know, going later on into a Fearless draft. Of course, we know it's going to be Ambessa here for Xiaoshu as the answer. You know, there is potential to find those all-ins on Bin when he's in mini form, but of course, Bin is a very, very good Gnar, like you're talking about, and it is double physical damage on the top side, so you are expecting him to go in towards those early plated steel caps.
Ezreal ban for the Jarvan, that makes sense. Doesn't really want to play Sivir into Jarvan. Jarvan, doesn't really want to play Jin into Jarvan, which are normally picked into Varus, right? Corki maybe the next one, Yunara? I think he's gonna play Corki now. I would play Corki here. I would just want a dash. I wouldn't want to be happy playing non-dash champion to Jarvan myself. I would pick Corki here.
Meanwhile, JDG, they're focusing 80 carries. They're getting rid of that Ezreal that you already mentioned, just can get out of Cataclysm so very easily. And then Yunara, which has been just another top-level pick alongside that Varus. The team's put a lot of priority on.
Akali game, no? For Honkyu, it's Akali, I think.
That can get out of the Cataclysm. RE lets you dash out, obviously. Exactly. So you can be able to get out of that.
Akali looks good.
Problem. So they are really just attacking some of these safe AD carries for Viper. So we'll have to see.
And then I think BLG will play Corki and Nami, and then Vampire will pick
sometimes people will say,
Nautilus, maybe.
We're just going to like play dive alongside our
and
team, and they'll go for a Kai'Sa style option to kind of avoid the dive by becoming the dive. Sometimes people will say,
Alistar blind? Wait, why are you not using your last pick? They're trolling. They're trolling.
That's going to be my way to actually.
They're trolling, by the way. They're trolling.
Alistar, so the 2v2 is a lot less.
They already see enemy mid and they last pick mid. They're trolling.
They have played. If you want to go for a range support, you can go that
it's Corki Nami. It's so free.
Engage, though, so I would expect On to look for some sort of hard engage champ here to try to.
Or you go Rakan. Sai Rakan? No, you don't want to play. You don't want to play Sai into Jarvan. Corki Nami, no, it's free. It's free win. Free win. Enemy troll.
Nami if they want to play more for that 2v2 though. But I do think compositionally it's a little weaker.
Yeah. The tidal wave, of course, can
make sense to me.
With an engage. Okay, the Bard locked in alongside the Corki. Bard, obviously a very good laner as well.
Exactly.
So definitely going to be a problem for a weak laner like an Alistar.
And the other thing that makes me really like this pick is it's not as powerful of a 2v2 as if you have the Nami.
I would have gone Nami.
Lane, it's going to give you a winning
myself.
2v2, and it gives
it's
you
such a free lane.
Engage
why are we last picking mid here?
Whatever,
this has to be Akali, no?
Right? You're throwing that ult down onto
has to be Akali, no? You're not picking an immobile mid into Bard. We picked Victor into Bard.
The ball is waiting on your head as you come out. You get Shockwave, right? So give you some engage, though it is.
We picked an immobile champion into Bard.
Give you a winning 2v2, and with Victor being picked in as well, you know, Victor great into the Orianna, but now both of your carries do not have a dash, which makes it a lot easier for this Bard to be able to set up the place.
Yeah, it's a pretty big issue when Bard can hit both of these
immobile carries.
When the
what the hell?
Both of these immobile carries. We know about how the combo between the Orianna and the Nocturne, if they have the timing down, even if you flash away from it, it's still going to pull you back in with the Shockwave. So pressure on the carries here for JDG, seeing if they'll be able to survive that. And again, I'm going to be so focused on the solo lanes here.
I don't think you can pick Sivir into Jarvan Alistar, by the way. Not possible.
But they're, you know, able to get past, qualify in for this.
Once you see the Jarvan, you cannot pick Sivir, and especially when it shows Alistar, you can't. You just have to pick Corki there. You don't have an option. But I don't understand why he didn't go Nami, and I also don't understand why he doesn't pick a mobile mid when he sees Bard, Nocturne, Orianna. Can't be fun to play Victor into this, no?
And you bring up Viper, and
he could have played Akali here, or even Asir with a dash.
He's an incredibly talented AD carry player, right? He's very good on his mechanics. He shows up a lot. But I feel like at this tournament specifically, he has been underperforming. I've seen him probably be the weakest point of the BLG roster in the games that we've seen thus far. And I think if he can individually step up and get to the level we know he can play at, alongside Knight and Bin, who are currently playing like
cashback CDR
zone that I'm talking about, then BLG becomes an even more insurmountable wall to climb.
Absolutely, and I mean, so much of the LPL offseason was really dictated by Viper, because he had said he wanted to go, you know, he was willing to go to the LPL if he could play with a certain player, which everyone was kind of assuming was Knight, and that kind of put the whole LPL offseason basically on hold, because everyone was like, wait a second,
we're all waiting.
If we could get this guy, we could get that guy, and then we could get Viper,
Dominoes,
and then we could win Worlds.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was definitely one of these big ticket pickups here.
Yep, and hey, check out the left side of your screen right here live on.
Feels so weird to watch the series now after the G2 series. Like, this doesn't feel real, you know? This is real, but it doesn't feel real.
If you're a Senna player, stack some souls, stack a new skin, it'll be a great time. Here in mid lane, Honkyu's having a great
hoping
time.
For a 5-game banger, Preach.
Back in the draft. The Victor feels good into the Orianna individual.
I'm just excited about tomorrow.
Here on the left, a little bit of look at the international experience.
Just excited about tomorrow.
Players here in this game. Yeah, exactly.
No matter who wins here, it's just really fucking awesome that
there's a lot more
G2 is in final.
On the JDG side, Shun as well as Junja have a similar amount of experience.
But I'll do my best to watch the series end, actually, like Fox up.
And Knight and these guys who have so much experience.
Jarvan got it, but he had to smite.
It's
bad for Jarvan, he needs to leave.
Goes after Junja, should be able to win this trade. Nocturne is significantly more
Plus Bard is here with the support prio. Jarvan has to give.
That just means that Junja has to head on home.
Yeah, especially with Bard moving. They knew that Bard was roaming from bot, so they had to play that very, very safe. Xiaoshu in some trouble.
Yeah, Ben is just running him down here. Gets the proc on the fleet footwork for the extra little bit of speed.
I had to flash.
And that means it's an early flash forced in just the 1v1. Nice play there from Ben.
Yeah, and you hate to see that if you are a JDG fan. Simply because the recourse you have in this matchup is threatening the all-in, right? And if you don't have flash, it is very difficult to actually do that.
To be fair, Jarvan gets Nocturne camps here, so it doesn't really do anything this invade.
He's going to be rushing plated steel caps, has the fleet forward. He's going to have a lot of
kind of whatever
with the hyperprocs as well. So you have to be really careful about those extended trades. As Knight just playing for the wave, I don't think Honkyu has the damage to really do anything besides send it back to base and look on bot side.
Right, exactly. They know there's not a lot of mana left there on the Victor. As On will go on a magical journey. Shun is waiting, but he knows there's not really a play to be found in here just yet. And what you bring up with the flash in the top lane, I feel like that's just the nature of so many ranged versus melee matchups, is the melee champion really hates when he loses flash essentially for nothing, right? It's not like the jungler had to spend time to go up there and force that summoner spell. So Xiaoshu just going to have to get very familiar with the environment under the turret.
The sights and sounds of his tier 1 tower.
The smells too. It probably don't smell too good underneath that turret because you're just sweating there for the next 5 minutes as you wait for your flash timer to come back up. Junja trying to steal away some chickens, but Shun flashes the emote at him, lets him know he's aware, and those chickens will, if nothing else, be a battle.
Yep, it looks like he is just going to have to back off for now, though. Doesn't want to play too dangerously, as Knight definitely getting beat up a little bit here from Honkyu. And despite the fact that, obviously Knight is the much more iconic player, is a player that was kind of expected to be pretty dominant in these 1v1s, Honkyu actually did quite well in some 1v1s against Knight, solo killing him at times in the LPL, getting the best of him in those 1v1s. It was more outside of the lane where I think Honkyu had struggled in comparison to Knight. When Knight gets an advantage, he often knows exactly how to slam it home, whereas Honkyu still sometimes shows his inexperience, sometimes taking fights he shouldn't even be looking for, even though he feels like, I can just outplay this.
And I mean, that makes a lot of sense when you consider the players themselves. Ooh, Flash coming out there from
Flash for Flash is good. Bard has a free kill on ult now. Once he gets 6, just free kill mid.
To the scene, right?
Or when Nocturne gets 6 as well. Just free kill mid.
Last year, everybody was impressed with his individual mechanics, representing the PCS. Knight's been playing for a very long time, so you of course expect him to be more disciplined, to have more overall knowledge. As Honkyu, though, still has so much opportunity to continue to grow as a player.
He absolutely does. And on here, it's been pretty annoying for Honkyu, honestly. Came for that little drive-by earlier, dropped a couple of those hot cocos, able to give a bit more health there to Knight, then trades flashes, forces that. Honkyu is winning this 1v1, but
no flash on Bessa, and dodge ult. Is this a kill? No, missed a Q. Not a kill. I think if he hit that Q, it was a kill, no? I missed a W as well.
Nice footwork there from Xiaoshu, making sure he doesn't get hit by those spells. If he does, it could have been a situation that potentially threatens lethal, as Ben still does have the flash, but Xiaoshu gets away. Now down the ultimate, though.
Nocturne diving this.
The only other way you could try to get on top of the Gnar with that flash not available. So this lane is going to continue to be an issue.
It's not diveable, or?
Walking his way up. There was a large wave here.
Did use all the spells right now, though. Literally every spell used is diveable. He has no spell. This guy's trolling. Why didn't he play safe? He used every spell to clear the wave, including his W, instead of just holding his spell. I think he's actually fine under a tower, by the way, if he has spells up. He's trolling.
And putting Xiaoshu down in this matchup. And Xiaoshu, as soon as he's losing out on that trade, as soon as he's getting pushed back, it's very tough.
He's trolling top.
Under your tower, a dive could be coming. You want to clear out that wave.
Lose flash 1v1, and here, like, I think they knew the Nocturne was topside, by the way. I think they pinged him, but they just didn't.
No spells, there's no flash, there's no outplay.
Okay, Vampire goes in, tries to find a
they just didn't respect properly.
They even commit the Chains of Corruption there from Gala. They get a good chunk of damage onto the enemy support. It costs his heal, but he's still just fine.
Yeah, it's going to be fine for now. The
should leave now, guys.
Get in behind him and look for the
why don't we leave?
There's no flash on because of that trade in mid.
Aren't we just free kills here?
Okay, on level 5 now. Junja coming down with the Cataclysm available. Vampire starts off the dive, and On is already down. Kill goes over to Tagala as well as Viper tries to escape. Pops the clan, still has flash.
This is not work, by the way. Why did you do that? That's not worth it. Why are they not leaving? I think they saw the Jarvan. Wait, so the Ambessa sees the Nocturne, uses every spell, and gives a free kill. Then I think Bard and Corki sees the Jarvan, stays under the tower anyway, and gives 2 kills as well.
Choice from Viper, because clearly he's making the evaluation that I can't actually get out, so instead I'm going to turn, I'm going to fight, I'm going to try to get that kill. But both
also, that's not worth what Viper did at the end.
Which is problematic. Vampire has TP'd up towards this top side and isn't looking for. Oh, he is looking for.
Alistar is here.
Uses jump.
Yeah,
Bin might be dead, no? Is combo into a mess ult or just a mess ult, I guess? He's dead.
Xiaoshu should have the damage. Vampire's rotation ends up paying some big.
And he flashed! And he flashed! The Nor flashed at the end. Did you see? Yo.
Sets it up so that Knight can knock it down and grab his first kill of the game. As there, we are all tied up at 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3, pretty much dead even, just a couple hundred gold between these two teams.
And he flashed.
Both teams being very, very active. I love that play from Vampire. You don't want to just stay stagnant in the 2v2. You're playing Spellbook here. Gets out on the map, early TP up towards that top side, wasn't spotted by Bin, and then is able to just find a wraparound. Xiaoshu's playing a little bit aggressive. Bin goes for the bait, goes in on that trade, and all of a sudden there's an Alistar there, and now you are losing that wave, you are losing that kill, you are losing that play, but we can watch this one more time. Easy setup in towards mid lane. Notice that Bard is tracking Jarvan. That is why they can
Victor has no flash, so it's just a free kill.
In the jungle, so they know
the Nor flashed, by the way, on the play. He flashed.
He's pushed back, and they find a pretty easy kill there through mid lane, so a nice little bite from BLG after Bin went down on the top side, and that's something that I feel like JDG struggled to do when they play.
Why doesn't he just flash down best ult then?
When Xiaoshu started falling behind, he
if he's gonna flash,
getting a lot of help, and he was kind of just getting knocked out of it. So it's nice to see Vampire gets back up there, gets.
I shouldn't flash though. Oh my god.
And once again, our supports will just be battling over vision as we are 9 minutes into the game. Remember, the first dragon did go over to JDG as the answer after they saw the dive in top lane where Shun helped Bin get that first kill there onto Xiaoshu. And so now
here we go again. Gonna yawn a bit. I'm sorry. I'm not tired. It's just what it is.
Down the first one and then decides to leave. Again, Bin has
it will last for a few minutes at most.
First down into the river. He's already in Mega Gnar form, which makes it very easy for Shun to just force the enemy jungler away. He'll secure the other two grubs.
Also worth noting, Knight going a pretty defensive build here, already has the Catalyst, so, you know, it's not that kind of one-shot style build that sometimes you see, just the Ludens, Shadow Flame, all upfront damage. This is more scaling, it's a lot more health, and I think it's just a nod to the fact that, well, there is Ambessa, there is Jarvan, there's all of this dive.
Okay, Chains of Corruption here on the bottom side.
Nice kill, by the way.
From Gala and Vampire on tries to get away, pops the heel.
Nice flash.
As the piercing arrow just barely
and nice ult.
Distance. Gala gets caught by the Temper Fate, and now Viper's looking for a little bit more. Nice timing there
this
on the
mid.
Frost Bomb plus the Rocket. Meanwhile, over in the mid lane, looks like we might have a little bit of a problem as junglers are showing up. Paranoia was already spent. However, Junja was ready to respond, and that means that Hongq won't drop.
No flash mid again.
Hongq flashes away. The knockwave was not perfectly timed, so the shockwave actually missed as the Paranoia went in. He was able to flash away from it, so good timing there on the flash from Hongq. Keeps himself safe, and of course, as you called out, with Junja behind him, they cannot extend the play. Viper and On just trading heavily down on this bot side with Vampire and Gala. And the timing on the CC from them has been so nice. They're not overlapping anything. They're getting the combo into the Chains of Corruption and then perfectly having the trample stun right out of that. They're weaving in autos to try to get multiple sets of Blight procs there on this Alistar, or rather, and Varus combo. So doing a good job and putting that pressure on, and we are still at this pretty much dead even state.
And even though the game is dead even, when I look at the scoreboard and the individual states of the lane, it's pretty much what I expected. It's the solo laners from BLG having the leads, while on the JDG side, the bottom lane, they're the ones pulling ahead. Jungle relatively even. It's a very, very slight lead for Jinja, but it's like, what, one camp? So I'm not really going to count that one for being worth a whole lot. Second Drake of the game, however, is about to spawn. Ocean and Chem Drake are the first two Drakes, which means they can't be the soul, which honestly, if you're JDG, I think you're pretty happy about. It means you're going to get a higher value soul, and you're the ones who are looking to start with a 2-0 stack as they have total control over the bot side river. We can see BLG's jungler all the way up at his own Krugs, so with Shun nowhere nearby, it's not like there's going to be a contest. JDG are up 2-0 in Dragons.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, it's pretty much a can't miss soul. It's you're either going to get Cloud, Mountain, Infernal, or Hextech.
Mountain it is.
Those are all wins. So it is going to be Mountain, and of course, Mountain very, very good if you can survive that initial engage.
This is the worst soul they could get.
It's going to be so helpful.
The only bad soul there still was.
And this is also playing into what you were talking about, JDG. during the draft, how this is a team that doesn't skip their steps. This is a team that makes sure they prepare correctly when it comes to objective fights. They were able to secure the first 2 dragons without a contest. So now as we move further towards that soul, we know that if the game state is even and that they can get there first, they're going to do it right.
Yep, they really are. They're very, very good at basically just getting to dragons early, and they get an early line of vision, often a couple minutes before that dragon spawns. Instead of just getting there and trying to get the vision right before it spawns, they'll often have early wards, and what this means is that even if your opponents come in and sweep that out and are placing their own vision, they often know exactly where the enemy wards are, they know where they're going to be looking to approach from, they know how to circumvent vision to actually set up their flanks, and I think as a result they often have really good objective fights. I do think JDG has a real shot to out-teamfight BLG.
No flash mid.
Okay. Junja gets away as On goes on a pretty long magical journey. That's one thing that I always look for when I see a game with Bard is, do you know all the angles to get the long magical journeys through the skinny parts of terrain? Because it really does allow your surprise factor to be that much more. As Bin just commits the Mega Gnar once again. So many Gnar players just love using this as a trading mechanism to guarantee that you're getting the edge over your opponent, guarantee that you maintain lane control, especially if we have a potential fight coming up here soon. It doesn't look like we are, though. Still about 90 seconds until the Rift Herald spawns. So just a crab battle once more for now, as Shun uses the Dustbringer for a little bit of extra speed towards this top side. Level 11 on both top lanes. Xiaoshu does have the public execution. Remember that Mega Gnar was already committed just a moment ago. Knight also rotating over towards this fight, but it's Vampire going in for the headbutt pull.
Good Bard ult.
Tempered Fate to try to disengage it. Paranoia turns off the lights.
The Varus ult spread anyway. I didn't realize that would be the case, actually.
Coming out from Shun and Bin looking for Xiaoshu, who has to flash away. Flash out from Shun, dodging the combo from Junja, as now Bin gets stunned up, but he's not too worried about it. Junja's going to be your target here next, as BLG, they use the shockwave. That's going to force the flash of the Jarvan here as well. We got some pretty big flashes spent here, Azale, with less
I didn't understand
on the clock until the Rift Herald spawn.
how that worked exactly, because I don't understand how that worked exactly, because what happened was Varus ulted the Orianna. Sorry, Varus ults the Orianna. Orianna gets Bard ulted, and while she's Bard ulted, the Varus ult is spreading. I thought that would cancel that mechanic. I don't know if they're gonna show a replay because no one died, but basically it was weird situation for Bard because he's ulting the Orianna, standing next to her, waiting for her to get out, and then he gets Varus ulted from it spreading. But she's golden, so you don't really see that it's spreading, I think. It's just randomly spreading while she's golden in Bard ult. I didn't know it worked like that. I thought it would just stop the spreading.
Up almost 1,000 in the mid lane. We know though that there's been so much attention.
Not a big deal, I guess.
Towards that lane, and it's led Knight to be over 20 CS ahead.
Absolutely has been a big impact, and Knight is a player that is worth getting ahead. This guy will pay dividends later on. That's an early game investment.
He's
for
not
the
the silver
late
left
game
hand. He's the gold left hand, all right?
Man doesn't know what it is to get second in the LPL. He has mostly just been running things, and Ben just got his Triforce. The Eclipse was that earlier item spike, but now we're coming in looking for a fight off that spike.
Okay, On throws the Tempered Fate on himself.
Yeah, I guess it's just not possible to stop the spreading. Nice combo. Nice Bard Q. BLG winning. Unless Victor can do something? No, he can't. Keeper 1. Nice combo, by the way. Orianna Nocturne. I think they got the Varus even if he flashed. I'm pretty sure they got him anyway. He flashed and got caught anyway. Also, really nice play by Bard. Portals in, double Q.
Till it hits you or you're already stunned. So you gotta precast it. Looks a little bit funny, but then the Knockwave re-engage catches Gala despite the flash being used. And On finds multiple bindings here that really were game-changing. There's the Tempered Fate to try to deny the public execution. They see this, look at this.
Yeah, Varus got caught anyway. Portal into Q here was nice. Hit the Varus and Amessa.
Onto 2 carries. Xiaoshu is stunned up. They kill off Gala. Bin lands another big stun, and then this binding as well.
Oh,
another
that Bard.
double binding. Let's
Smurfing.
flash in, grab a second kill there. Beautiful plays from On and from the rest of BLG. And they made that one look easy.
Yup, the Knockwave combo plus the bar double bindings back and forth. Really, really good stuff. But of course, since Shen was the one who died, I spoke too soon. The Rift Herald didn't actually get claimed by BLG because their jungler wasn't available on the map. So that objective is still ready to be contested. But I don't know if JDG will even have the ability to contest it again. They have already lost their top lane tier 1 turret. That's the first turret of the game being claimed by BLG.
When G2 played BLG, what was the top matchups? They played Poppy into Ambessa, right? First game. And second game was Gnar into...
The third Drake of the game has spawned. Their attention will likely be towards that area of the rift instead. And you can see Junja.
What was the matchup stop that series?
Here, but On and Knight are waiting. Shockwave beautifully pulls Junja back out of the combo, and now the Jarvan is stuck between a rock and a hard place. They will kill him in the river. He cannot.
Well, Drake is free, and game looks really good for BLG now, stopping the Drake stacking. Not that this Drake matters much anyway, but it was the win condition for JDG with how the game is going, and that is gone now. Gnar versus Sion, game 2. And game 3, BLG G2, what was top matchup? So Poppy versus Ambessa, Gnar versus Sion, and then what? What was the last one?
Now top lane, mid lane becoming that problem that you were dreading as JDG.
Because as far as I remember, BLG versus G2, top was Gap, that series. Like, Bin had that crazy Ambessa game, triple kill on mid, then he had a Gnar 3k gold lead game, second game.
So now you're at this point where you're trying to look for plays. You need Junja to get involved, you need Vampire to have more of those good roams.
Maybe something to think about tomorrow. How do we make top work better this time?
Right, this is a 2,000 gold lead pretty much for both solo laners on the BLG side. This is very difficult to play now for JDG.
It looks good today as well.
Back to our conversation about JDG objective setup. Yeah, they wanted to try to.
I mean, he almost always looks good. It's just if I'm thinking about like BLG versus G2 tomorrow, top lane is very important.
But you're up against Knight, man. This is not
very important lane tomorrow.
Nope, not at all. And now he's got his Shadow Flame in completed here. And this is the head-to-head so far at first stand on how these two players have performed. You know, definitely a very strong laning phase in general for Bin. He has been looking really good in the LPL.
This is what?
Oh, we're gonna see a dive.
But I don't see, I think.
Okay, the lights are off.
No,
they don't see.
So, you know, Xiaoshu was really known mostly for his laning phase, particularly for his Renekton. You know, really is an incredible Renekton player, potentially one of the best, if not the best Renekton players out there right now. And we are going to see Shockwave
there. Hong Q losing 3/4 of his HP. Drops the Arcane Storm to try to force Knight back, and they will manage to hold the turret for now.
Yep, just kind of trading those cooldowns back and forth.
Game 3 was Renekton versus Cassante. So he played 3 tanks that series as well then. Poppy, Sion, Cassante. So he's just playing tank. Maybe the Shen tomorrow could be important.
Vampire, Junja, and Hongq again just trying to defend the entrance to their jungle, trying to defend this tier 1 turret that is barely holding on.
I wonder if they just ban Shen tomorrow, you know? Because that's probably something they don't have practice against either. Such a good ward ult, by the way. And Q! Wow. Well played. Bard is smurfing. Orianna didn't leave for some reason though, and Bard is gonna die as well. 9! Smurfing and dying anyway. Orianna should have left. Such a good ult by Bard.
Even with a great play there from On, it didn't matter. Now Shun's gonna get walked down.
Yeah, this is just a blunder.
No point to flash.
Hanging around too long to
throwing a bit here.
And BLG,
3 kills for free basically. Other than Bin situation, but that's same every game I feel like. Isn't this just every Bin game? He's just up a lot of goals. This was G2 series as well. This is how it looked kind of. It was like relatively back and forth, and then it's just Bin with a huge lead. This was the G2 series as well. Need to not have this happen tomorrow if they play BLG. Try to have top more even, more stable.
The flash comes in, again, Tempered Fate timing really, really good. Look at the flash from on to redirect the binding, gets the double stun, Knight is able to flash out, but then they say, hey, what if we just kind of walked back in? They see the TP is coming in, they know that Junja's still there, but Knight does not back up after flashing out. He's just too confident.
No flash.
Back to live, it's BLG going in for an invade yet again. The paranoia
And the ult from Bard. Not flash. Yo, that Bard is crazy this game.
That's exactly
He's completely smurfing this game on Bard.
They brush it off. They get right back up to their old ways. The Rift Herald is summoned up in top lane to be a distraction. Isaac, there's 22 minutes on the clock. There's Baron in the top side of the river, and there's BLG looking to take it. There's no enemy jungler to contest. There's no enemy top laner to be that front line. I don't really see a way for JDG to stop this, so Baron goes over to BLG.
Yep, and generally the recourse to this would be, oh, well, maybe we'll push in mid, get a tier 1 there, but on TP'd mid to clear out the wave as well off of this pick here. Junja walks in, he has no flag, and he just walks in very confidently into on, gets bound into that blue buff. The shockwave is there to follow. We're back to live and on.
Yeah, he wanted to get some vision. He was thinking the Rift might have been safe enough, but unfortunately for him, it is not.
Found Victor.
If you're JDG, you're honestly pretty...
Never mind, he's got. It's such an on game! It's such an on game! Smurfing, 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 caught. Smurfing, 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 caught. Smurfing, smurfing, caught. It's such an on game. He's just the best and, like, not the worst, but, like, kind of trolling at the same time.
Takes a lot of damage from the Nexus turrets, but not enough to make it an even trade. This is what you were talking about.
He's Hillisang in disguise. Smurfing, 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 caught. Smurfing, smurfing, caught. Smurf caught.
1 and 4. Yes, JDG will achieve soul point here as they grab their third Drake, but it's critically not the Mountain Soul because BLG got that one earlier, and now it's the JDG base that's cracked open.
I mean, they're just bullying this poor guy. Ben ate his lunch.
And he's back. And he's going. He's just ulting. He doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, man,
and now he got Forest Flash and killed the Jarvan. Like, what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. He just gets caught and then he comes back and wins the game. Alright. Smurfing, smurfing? And what comes after smurfing? What's the next step?
BLG with a 4-man push. Shun is going towards the bottom lane.
Let's see it. Maybe one more time smurfing, maybe, and then cut.
There's not
Let's see it.
on it. Still about half or so, as the rest of BLG will now be able to rotate over.
So much fun to watch now.
Continue to apply that pressure. Meanwhile, Knight is going to make sure they still have 2 points.
It's just going.
Oh wait, the map lied to me. I thought that said 3 plates, not 5. Anyway, it was full HP, but it's not going to be for very long. As Knight continues making sure that there's more than one thing JDG has to worry about, and BLG.
Black Cleaver, Ruby Crystal on Corki is what?
This is a 9,000.
Black? No wait, what did I say? Phage? I was about to say Phage. Ruby Crystal is what? And it's actually Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver on Corki?
Getting caught out. Junja is kind of trying to
is normal? Black Cleaver Corki.
Knowing that Gala is going to be in a lot of trouble there, but he dies in a hurry. They just pile in an easy double for Viper, who hasn't really been a part of too much this game, but is quietly over 2,000 gold ahead at this
Black
point.
Cleaver, and now he's building Tunneler, which is... What's the Tunneler on Corki?
It's about BLG winning.
What are we building?
In these important fights,
Hexblade?
They've taken down every tower outside of the base and one in
Tunneler
inside it as well.
Yeah, I don't really see a way back in here for JDG. I mean,
Shojin? No, Shojin is not Tunneler, is it? Does this item build into Shojin for Corki? Black Cleaver.
Really one-sided fight, 5 for 2, 5 for 1 or something, and then you claim Mountain Soul after.
Yeah.
That's
Shojin?
pretty much the only way. So as long as BLG doesn't put themselves in a spot where
Triforce, Manamune, Black Cleaver, Shojin.
between Nexus turrets or something.
It doesn't sound like you have a lot of damage, but I guess you do, and you're tanky as well.
Just feels like far too difficult.
I guess that's the main thing. You're very hard to kill with this.
Hard, and your best target is going to be Knight, but he has a full Zonia's 10-stack Aroa. We've seen how.
I mean, when you're 10k gold up, anything works probably.
He's going to be there with the locket. And
might even be a better build than crit when you're up, because you can't really throw when you're that tanky.
In the side lane right now, he's on 3 full items, and they're more expensive items than what Xiaoshu has as well.
When you look at the gold, he's more than 1 fully completed item.
I often feel like that's how League works when I play myself. If I am even or behind, it's probably better to buy damage. But if I'm ahead, it makes sense to build tanky. Because when you're ahead, you have damage anyway. anyway from the fact that you're ahead. But when you're even or behind, if you don't build damage, you don't deal damage. So, for example, in this game state, it kind of makes sense to not build full damage, right, and build a bit more tanky because you're gonna deal damage anyway. Like, I don't hate it when you're ahead. But it does look weird when you're even or behind, I think, this kind of build. It's like the Lucians that build... What do they build? They do like Essence Reaver, Black Cleaver...
Everything that they can. There's multiple words
some kind of Black Cleaver variation of Lucian build. I have the same feeling. It's good when you're ahead, but every other time it's bad.
Across the way, so they have full vision of everything. Just gonna be waiting.
Maybe same this Corky build, honestly. Let's see what he's getting. Shojin, I guess.
If BLG can grab the dragon,
pickaxe.
grab that,
double pink. He sold his Doran. He sold his Doran's blade for pickaxe, double pink. Honor that guy. Selling damage to buy vision. You love to see it. Selling damage to buy vision. Team player. You love to see it.
Because that will make things, I think, significantly more annoying. So I'm curious if BLG are going to just priority the dragon first, since it does spawn a couple of seconds ahead. JDG, I don't really see a world where they can try to contest anything in open ground.
It's time to get caught.
As now, it looks like On may have got caught. Honestly, this is huge for JDG.
It's time to get caught. Don't worry, he spawns soon and then he's gonna smurf again.
Now Ben gets caught on the very edge of the public execution.
Gonna low-key lose the soul here, and if you fight it, you might lose the game. So probably give this.
Can they make sure they maintain this control? However, Junja goes in. The follow-up is right there.
This is 4v5, but they have to fight, I guess. Could throw the game here. Or you just win 4v5 anyway. I guess just win 4v5 anyway. Yep, just win anyway. That's crazy. It's close though. Getting close. Has flash, but where do you flash? Don't flash anywhere. Well, it worked out anyway. But that was sketchy. That was sketchy.
About as good as they're gonna get in this game. They almost made it happen, but even with On not there,
does that Orianna not die in the flash combo?
It's a good
what do they have and what do they use? So they use Var's ult for that guy, and then they use Ambess ult here, I think. Yep. So they don't have Var's ult or Ambess ult, and now they're gonna flash combo the Orianna. But no one is following, or they just can't because of lights. Lights out? Yeah, lights are out, so they can't follow more. And then Varus gets knocked and ulted, and they're not peeling. The Jarvan and the Alistar is trying to kill Ori while Varus is dying. So I think probably when that Ori flashes out, you need to turn as frontline, right? I can go back and show you. But probably when the Ori flashes over the wall here, you as frontline need to turn, because your backline can't follow on this, and if you keep going, you're not going to kill this guy anyway, and your backline is going to die. So probably correct is for the frontline Alistar Jarvan here. Flash combo, look for display. When he flashes out, click back and go with your carry, and you probably win this actually. Because this guy is out of the fight, and the Nocturne is actually inting if you're peeling. Do you see it? So these two people just need to turn back when he flashes out with Ori.
Blame JDG at all for going for it, because in a game state like this, when you have a 5v4, you've got to just send it to try to get the soul, maybe try to get the Baron afterwards. But BLG's got hands, man, and those hands are heavy, and so are their pocketbooks. Now 12,000 gold ahead, no potential for a Mountain Soul for the next 4 minutes. Baron still has 2 minutes on that Rebel Baron power play timer, and I feel like this is going to be the end of it.
You just got caught. You're supposed to smurf in between.
Here's your TP ready to reinforce. On stays alive, and now JDG has to scramble to try to get away. Ben nearly has the full Gnar bar charge.
That's the deal. Smurf caught, smurf caught. You can't do caught. You need to be smurf caught.
But neither does BLG, so the push is going to continue.
Still a good look there from JDG. This is all you can really do. You're down 12k. You've got to look for brush camps. They almost burst down On, but this time with the heal, with the defensive Tempered Fate, and the TP coming in, JDG has to run before they can actually finish off the Bard. And now you have to face down this Baron up push. We can see On is going up through mid. He's going to be getting that moving in the right direction. And Shun has no paranoia, so he can't reinforce either side that easily. So they need to get these waves synced up and try to get those going in to get the pressure onto JDG. Otherwise, this game is going to stall out. And That's not exactly what you want as BLG. You don't want to give them more opportunities.
Yeah, we're getting towards the point where that much more gold for BLG won't do a lot more. You still have one more item that you can get on both of your solo laners. You still have another couple items that you can get on Viper. But the further it goes, the worse it gets, because this is just such a massive lead. You want to end it fast. So let's see if they can accomplish that. JDG have held the line for 1:20 of that 2 minutes of the Baron, as now BLG continue their push, but there's the Paranoia into the dive with an Knockwave combo.
Bardult was a miss.
And now the Gala's already dead. BLG have
Are they trolling here? Kinda, no?
Though, as Vampire's creating space with Unbreakable Will. He finally falls. Shao shoots your next target. Bin hops in because he's got the
Level 20 Gnar with GA, just tanking the entire time.
He's the only one. Honq tries to get away, but Viper does so much damage on the Corki, and that will do it. 5 for 1. BLG find the fight. They're going to eliminate the remainder of the JDG structures with a 16,000 gold lead almost by the time game 1 ends. And BLG.
All right, BRB bathroom, yeah. And we go game 2. I have a feeling this series is gonna be a fast one. Just doesn't look like they're on the same level right when they're playing, because they're making a lot of mistakes, but it's still free win. So, like, to me, Lost Ratones and Witchcraft was kind of the same thing, right? Minus Cadril, minus Baus, plus Big Boy was kind of the same thing. And we were using the spot of Lost Ratones literally, but it feels like there's such a divide there, you know. Like it bothers me a little bit that we didn't like end it all together, you know. Maybe I should have just not gone ahead with Witchcraft. I don't know. It's a shame, really. I wish we did it all together. I wish we played at the Masters all together and just finished it together. Or perhaps I shouldn't have gone ahead at all without them. I don't know. Hindsight, I guess. Bothers me a little bit that we are like, if you go to Lost, what am I saying? Bowser's Lost. Oh my God. If you go to Bowser's Leaguepedia, it doesn't say the same as my Leaguepedia, and it's, I want to be the same as Bow. Like this, I'll show you quick, okay? I know we're in draft.
Would surprise me a little bit. I think Zin makes sense as an
like this is Bowser's Lost Ratones, yeah. Here.
When people are trying to dive past the Zin, he kind of.
So if you go to mine,
the crescent guard, you're really good at just hitting what is in front.
It doesn't say the same. We're not the same. I want to be the same.
More sense than Ashe, not only because the Seraphine is banned, but because you have more mobility, more safety. Nico is going to give you a stronger 2v2, and Pop Blossom is fantastic counter engage, as we know. So I really like these first 2 picks here. Seeing the Vi, because Vi is not a
there you go.
Really pivot out of and say, you know what, we're going to play front to back. I'll just ult the Scion. Like, it doesn't really work that way.
That's pretty junk.
You're like, kind of locked in.
That's not going to work the best. So yeah, Yunara, Nico, loving this in the bottom lane for BLG, but JDG,
maybe I just missed Baus.
With it. This is what you were already talking about. Renekton is up, so that's what they're going to lock in for Xiaoshu. And
Renekton like blind, no Gnar, I guess.
Something like Renekton, especially when you're playing this champion that needs to not fall.
Normally Gnar here.
Otherwise, you kind of just feel useless. I want to see the rest of the team also.
Bin is that guy. I think he's just gonna carry the series. Doesn't matter what they pick. He's just gonna find something anyway.
I mean, Scion seems like the expected answer now because, as I said, you know, Gnar is gone, Rumble is gone. Zin, though, would mean you would be dropping that and that would get banned. So you're kind of choosing between the two. Do you care more about the Scion or more about the Zin? Because the other is very likely to be banned by JDG in the next phase. So in this case, they are going to prioritize the Scion, which I actually think is correct because, again, I think Xiaoshu might be the best Renekton in the world. This guy's Renekton is cracked. He is very, very good at it, has an incredibly impressive laning phase. This is a champion that I most associate him with. Okay, so you don't want to put Bin in a really bad spot when he
the whole Witchcraft thing was very rushed for sure.
So with the Scion,
but we literally got it together as soon as we found out, by the way. Like this, the second we found out that we had a spot in EU Masters, we just got it together and went with it, right? So if we could have started sooner, I think everyone would have been down to do it. We just didn't know that we had the spot until we got the boys together and started. Like the time we used was all the time we had. We didn't like find out, chill anyway, and think it was free and just practice 1 week. No, we found out the week before. We started like the second we found out, we started. You know, there was no time in between.
is it worth banning out a mid
So if anything, the
laner, or do we
regret,
just
I
wanna
guess,
target
is that
another
we
AD
didn't
jungler and put that even more down? 'Cause
find out sooner
exactly
or
how
make a
JDG
plan
are
sooner,
requesting
because I think
regardless of what their bot lane is. It
I
actually changes
wasted like
nothing.
3 weeks
So they
between
began the Zen.
LEC
On
and
the BLG side,
E-Master
the Khan
starting,
being banned away, it's
or
a
our
great
practice for
partner
E-Master
for Vi
starting.
and
Like
Ari.
we had 3
Diving
weeks
into
of
that
nothing
fun like
basically,
you're
where we
already
could have
talking
easily
about,
used
right?
most of
Ari
that for
does one
practice
spear, rush
and
forward,
been in a
battle
better
dance
shape.
to her, then you grand entrance forward with the
It's a
quick
shame,
resolve
really.
reactivated.
It could have ended well. I think it's just hindsight,
So they're
right?
going to
Like
make sure that can't
it
go
bothers me
wrong.
because it didn't go well. If it went well, it probably wouldn't bother me. If it went well, we'd be playing playoffs like day after tomorrow, and then obviously things would be very different than they are right now. So maybe it just bothers me because it didn't go well. Maybe it just bothers me because it feels like in hindsight it could have been so much better. And maybe it just bothers me because I feel like even with everything that didn't go right, we still had it if we just like focused up, you know, like we still had it. After everything, even with one week of practice and things not going right in many aspects, when we were playing that series, we still had it if we just locked in a bit. Such a shame. I think maybe that's why it bothers me. It's just such a missed opportunity. Could have been so much better than it was.
From JDG though, so they don't want to deal with the potential of just the instant burst onto the Ari or even the Pi if she tries.
Let's not go there more. It's in the past.
Yeah, I feel like Poppy against Vyra
Poppy
next.
jungle.
There's so much value against all three of these champions.
I just have to look to the future now and try to make something new for myself.
Just generically good in the meta. I know it's not the fastest clearing
I'll do my best.
right? I know it does have some weaknesses.
Lux!
But I feel like it is just generically strong.
Lux?
And then you see a
Really?
draft like this and you're like, oh, you just won the game.
Yeah, Steadfast Presence is one of those abilities
Lux?
that I feel like is just absolutely nuts against certain champions.
Mel is giga value here, no? Lux Q, Charm. Oh, the Mel is so good here. I love BLG's comp. The Lux is not it, I think.
Pressure. That's going to be their choice into the Yunara and Nico. Meanwhile, the final pick of the draft for BLG is Mel in mid lane.
And Mel is a classic in the LPA. They love this pick. It is so much more popular in the LPL than elsewhere in the world, and it is a great matchup into the Ari. Obviously, you're just holding the Rebuke for the charm, right? You're trying to stop that charm, because not only are you stopping the damage, you're stopping the damage amp, you are then potentially charming the Ari, which can completely screw her over. I do think the difficulty here for me with the JDG comp, like, it is pretty cohesive. The Lux ult even later on can be used as part of the dive. My issue is that where do you go as a jungler?
So you are teamless now and
Caitlyn
out in the
Lux.
market?
That
Yeah.
needs help. You need to push. You need to farm plates. You need to play in their face, which exposes you to the enemy jungler.
Just looking
So that means
for
you gotta protect
anything to
them.
do, really.
But then on the other side of the map, you're
Think,
also playing Renekton into the Scion.
Next
That guy
opportunity
needs
will
to
be
get
in
ahead
November,
too.
though.
So I do
Just
feel
have
like Jinja's in
to
one of these kind of
sit this year out, pretty much.
situations where
Can't do much
not
about
one,
it.
not two, but
It's very
three
much like my
ways really
2023
want his
was.
help, and that
Same
is so difficult to
situation.
deal with, whereas Scion is completely
Year ended
happy
very
just
early
to
for
chill
me
and
that year
farm.
as well.
Mel is going to be completely happy just
Basically
to deal with
had
that
what
1v1 herself.
April onwards
It's
that
really
year
only
to
bot
do
lane that I
nothing,
think
and then I got
needs
the
Jun's
T1
help. So I feel like his
job
job
in
is so
November.
much
So
easier
between
than
April and
Jinja's
November,
game.
I was just playing solo and chilling,
Jungle in League of Legends in general.
trying to figure out stuff to do, and it's like literally the same now. It's March. I have probably March to November,
All come at an opportunity cost.
Yeah.
playing solo rank and doing nothing, trying to find stuff to do. So it's just it's a rerun of 2023 for me, basically. Just gotta make the most of it.
So your decision making
And back then, I made the support swap like public. I made a YouTube video and I said I'm swapping support, and then from April to November, I was just playing support. And that's why it worked out in the end. I got the job in T1 because I was,
In isolation,
how we say, well prepared for the tryouts when I went there. I didn't go there in first time support. I actually played for like half a year before I went there. So it worked out pretty well. I think I will have to do something similar here. Just fish for AD carry, fish for support, fish for coach, but at some point just decide and send it, you know. I don't think I can keep everything relevant at the same time. I'm gonna have to choose at some point. So now that I have a lot of time, I kind of wanna like see where my AD carry skills are at, where my AD carry skills are at, and potentially pursue that as the main option. And if I, after some time, don't see it anymore, then I commit to support, I think. And coach is more so like I'm 30 this year, and I don't know how much more opportunities I will get, how much more people believe in me.
exactly.
that I can do something good for our team. So maybe coach just needs to be like plan B, you know, or it's plan B until it's plan A, you know. Because once I'm retired, I think that's my plan A. But it's hard to tell if I will have opportunities or not. So it sort of just needs to be a plan B right now. It just needs to be a door I open a little bit, I think. Regardless of it wanting to be, regardless of it being something I want to do right now, it's probably my future to some extent. So I think I just need to open the door a little bit. But it's definitely plan B right now, coaching. I want to play. I just don't know how many opportunities I'll get. Depends if people believe in me still or not. If people believe I'm good, if they think I do something good for a team, if they see me as a hardworking person or like a good person in a team environment, yeah. It's hard to say what people see me as at this time. It's kind of out of my control, sadly. I just have to do what I can and then, you know, hope for the best. Out of my control, I think, what people think about me or what kind of value people see me as. Can't do much about it, I think. Just work hard, be decisive in what I want, and then hope for the best. Definitely want to pursue AD carry a little bit and see like where my level is at, if that could be something. Because I have this like vision of ending my playing career as AD carry. I wouldn't want to end my playing career as support. I would like to end my playing career as AD. And we are potentially now at a time where I will have to end my playing career. So I'm like, I'm curious if that's something I can pursue.
100% sure.
I looked at something else for a second and then I just saw him flash.
But definitely mainly looking as support, right? I'm good support and put a lot of work into it the last, 3 years? So I would definitely like to look mainly as support, for sure. It's just if I get nothing, I would love to do something as AD carry before I retire.
Sure, it sucks that you lost your flash.
So I want to like check it out a bit, pursue it a little bit. Nice trap. Sorry, I'm not really focused on the game. Just thinking a lot.
No jungler help required. Caitlyn Lux doing what they were drafted for.
Yeah, and playing against Caitlyn Lux sometimes can be a bit of a bullet hell. You're constantly dodging. You feel like
why Lux over Nami? I'm not sure. I would play Nami here.
One binding into the trap, into the full Caitlyn combo. Q, auto, E, double headshot, 100-0, just dead.
I mean, most bullet hell games are you can dodge 99 things, but if the 100th hits you, you lose. And sure enough,
got 99 problems, and unfortunately, a binding is one as he does get taken down there. Vampire sets it up well, and Vampire has been playing, I think, quite well. You know, he had a really good roam towards the top side to help out Xiaoshu last game with that early TP on.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a long time till November. I have time to figure it out.
He's a guy who's had kind of a mixed history. You know, he came
just a few like how would you say visions in mind. Coaching definitely post playing career is a vision. Finishing my playing career as AD carry is a vision, and like being a good support and seeing that as my like main thing moving forward is a vision. But it's so hard to say, you know.
One of the best supports in the LPL. He's really
like what others believe as well.
Part of any win they could get.
Ooh, nice solar snare there onto Hongq. Knight
forcing out the
spirit rush from the enemy jungler. As the Drake does go over to JDG. Now Shun in the middle of the pit. Has to flash trying to get away from
I have a few visions. I'd like to
he wants to go after Knight, who escapes back towards the
pursue them all, kind of. See what's up.
So both teams trying to get
and hopefully people give me a chance somewhere.
After the dragon's already down, but nobody falls.
See me as someone valuable.
1,500 gold, 8 minutes into the game. They're feeling great about this early game.
Yeah, and that smite was a clencher as Xiaoshu interrupts the smash.
I think the harder I work this year and the more I like do things and put myself out there, the higher my chances for sure. I mean, I would at least like to hope so that it increases my chances.
But no, Xiaoshu's not going to pursue any further.
Yeah, he doesn't know where Shun is, so he's a little bit nervous about that. So Ben buys enough time that he won't chase after him.
We'll see.
But that was a risky
Enough
smite.
now, streamer.
Actually
Just
smoked
focus
the
on the
dragon
game.
down to about 20 HP, and it was an auto attack from Gala that didn't
Gonna
end
focus
up
on the game.
claiming it. So Gala secured that. And could have been pretty bad had they lost that dragon, but you have full bot side prio, you have a very good early game lead. Gala's up almost 1,000 gold already. Viper very far behind as far as the CS is concerned, and First Blood wins at Gala, and they got a plate, and they
I'm probably gonna stop streaming at some point as well and just focus up like towards the end, I think.
And it's a great start for JDG.
And it is, as Ben eats the Renekton combo here yet again. The Scion down about 10 seconds.
Like I'm probably doing Worlds co-streaming. I mean, I'm hoping I can get that right. But maybe after that, depending on what I figure out in November, I might stop streaming at this time.
If Caitlyn Lux gets picked, this is what it's got to be for.
I'm probably gonna keep it going until then, but yeah, depending on what happens in November, I might want to stop streaming in November onwards. Maybe it will be kind of similar to last year, where Worlds is my last thing of streaming for a while. We'll see. But that's another thing to keep in mind, depending on what I figure out, what job I hopefully get. I will probably have to put streaming on hold. Keep in mind, every other Lost Ratones member was a streamer before they joined Lost Ratones. I was not a streamer before I joined Lost Ratones, so streaming for me is secondary. If I can get opportunities, I will take the opportunities over streaming. Always.
Around the traps into a potential binding or charm, that makes things really, really difficult. Of course, BLG will try to claim space, utilizing their Scion.
But we'll see once we get there once again. It's a question for November. Just something to keep in mind.
Seeing if maybe they can find anybody passing through this red buff area of the jungle, but not going to happen. Gold lead still hovering around the same area it's been for quite a while now here for JDG at about 1,500. Grubs are available on the map. JDG sending their jungler towards that area, but you can see Ben, with the fact that he has the wave currently pushed out, has the chance to go and ward that top.
Game looks good for JDG, no? They're doing really well bot. Better than I thought they would.
The first grub, and you can see Hongq already in a defensive position to cover for Junja, who now backs away from the remaining two grubs, ready to help the fight as On tries to go in, but instead the reversal is beautiful. Gala gets out of the range.
They're just owning them bot lane, actually. It's just a bot cap game. Lux is going full AP with Shrelia.
Not only do they get their second 2v2 kill of the game in the bottom lane, but JDG claim all three grubs. They're up over 2,000 gold.
What is the build for Lux anyway? It's like Shrelia, Horizon Focus, I guess.
Now the bot lane is going to get even more
something like that.
because Gala will have those grubs.
Okay, Ben just going to walk this one off. Wants to get away from Xiaoshu. Misses the decimating smash. Charged it a little bit long there. Ben
kind of failed here. It's losing, no? No, Mel is here. Never mind. It's winning. It's winning. Mel is here. Double kill for Mel. That's huge. Sion with one. But 2 kills anyway. Huge play.
Yeah, Knight appears and JDG vanished. Call it a magic trick. BLG right back into this
Bot is still an issue though.
Creating those solo lane leads that they so desperately need after this engage goes bad from On. He did force double flashes, so that is one positive for them. He flashed in with the Pop Blossom, got the double flash, but like you say, when you press Pop Blossom, you CC yourself, right? You are going to be going straight up, straight down. That's where the binding is going. That's where the trap is going, and that's where you are going to get one shot. And Viper now, it was already not a fun lane, it is that much less fun now as Yuntal.
Yeah, I'll definitely play Aphelios at some point, and thanks for the
triple grubs here. So they are going to be able to
kind message
even more damage to this tower. This one's pretty much a lock to be first turret of the game. I don't know that BLG can really do anything about it.
And Yuntal's one of those items, it's like
but for sure, from like now until November, streaming will be very relevant for me. It's just something to keep in mind if I get a opportunity somewhere, which I'm hoping for, then streaming will not be a priority anymore. Just something to keep in mind. I think for the other Lost Ratones guys, streaming will be a priority for them for a long time coming. At least most of them, I would imagine. But for me, it's like, yeah, I want to get back to the top, you know, in some way. At least that's the main thing I'm looking for. And then streaming doesn't really work. At least not every day.
Is it Final Spark?
How do other pro players do it at the very top? They stream like once in a week now, something like that. Basically what I did before. Anyway, I'm yapping. Not important.
Channeling the keeper's verdict, nice knock.
Nice pop
Gets
build.
rid of the enemy jungler there. Wants to try to finish the
That's
damage
smite, no?
here onto
You
the
got it.
dragon. And there it is. Mountain
Is it dead for it?
BLG. They're going to feel good about that one. As the Vi
Vi is deep.
He flashes over the wall and he drags Junja with him. I love when players do that against a Vi. Her ulti is a full commit no matter what once it's cast. So considering he drags Junja over the wall, he spends his flash, but he demands a flash in response from Junja.
Yep, going to be able to trade that out, and that is going to feel really nice. JDG, even with this big gold advantage, you know, not running everything to their liking. It is BLG that are able to grab that dragon. It is BLG with slight advantages on the top side. And this is going to be a game. We already kind of knew it, but it's really all about Gala. He has all of that gold lead, and Bin has been able to stabilize thus far on that top side. Xiaoshu's doing his best, but it's tough.
Yeah, Thornmail doing plenty of work here for the Scion as he goes in for the point-blank ulti. Decimating smash right after. Bin's got the timing to catch him on the very edge, and as the soul furnace
I feel like Bin is just gonna carry this game.
in the flames, Bin 2-0.
He's just that guy, I think.
I just don't want to see this matchup anymore, man. It's
so
like
rough.
if Xiaoshu can't do well in this matchup, then what can you do? You know, he was doing great in the 1v1, but all
Team
it takes
game.
is exactly one game.
Caitlyn is quite
goes
ahead of
bad.
the curve
It's
though,
kinda
so
like
she
the
might
inverse
reach a
of
point where she
Caitlyn
can
matchup,
actually
right?
kill the
Where
Scion.
it's same situation where it looks good until it doesn't.
Like if you
because
get
one thing goes Bin's
Yuntal
way.
Infinity
Now
here
he's
and
up
then
6
Lord
overall.
Dominic's,
What kind
I
of
think you
armor
deal
he has?
damage.
We talked about this in draft. He doesn't care
But
about
it's
the armor. He doesn't care about
still
anything
a
the armor
item and a
does,
half
and he
away.
never will.
Like right now the Scion
And
cannot
now
die,
he
no
has
matter what.
just
He can lane them
so much
1v2.
armor that even with the Black Cleaver, it's going to be very difficult for Xiaoshu, and you can see in the Coinbase gold grind, it is a monstrous gold lead for Gala, but he is going to have to deal with Bin eventually, and Bin is just going to be playing in his face, you feel like, in every team fight.
Gala is the gold lead. 1.7k for the Caitlyn, 1.7k for the team as a whole. You can see at the scoreboard at the top. So a lot of pressure on Gala here to make
Nice
sure
reflect.
that he can really bring this home. It's his job to carry in this one. The Caitlyn must
What do you build on Lux now?
if JDG
He has a fairy
wants to
charm,
take
so
this
he's building
early
what?
lead, convert it into a
Michael's?
win,
Question
turn it
mark?
into a tied-up series.
And I mean, Vampire has a big gold lead himself, but it's not as though this is the solo queue style. He's not going Luden's Shadow.
Fairy
Flame.
charm
He's
is
not,
probably
he's
Forbidden
going
Idol,
Scorpions, right?
unless
So,
it's
you know, Lux with a gold lead is fine,
Helia?
but this is not a Lux that's going to one-shot you. Sometimes, like you see that in solo queue, they
builds.
really get a lot of gold. He is just playing that supportive style. They're going to try to set up a dive on a Xiaoshu, though. They are bullying
Stunned,
this guy.
knocked up, rooted. Dead.
Viper's
dead for it though. Not sure if that's worth, to be honest.
Yeah, it is a 1-for-1, but honestly, I think you take those because that is gold in Viper's pockets here. You do kill off Xiaoshu. Yes, you give a kill back to
Not sure if that's
Junja,
worth.
but if you can just trade gold for your AD carry and their jungler, I think you're going to be pretty happy about that. The wave was pushed in. Not the ideal play, but not bad at all. And the Caitlyn Lux have moved mid, but Knight has very good wave clear, so I kind of feel like maybe we need to try to see them get elsewhere on the map, you know, find a lane to really pressure. Knight is going down towards bot side now, so it is going to be back in their favor in the mid lane.
Yeah, Junja jumps towards on there, finds a little bit of damage, but the Nico is just fine. All he's doing is making enough space to guarantee that Shun can grab that crab without there being any sort of a contest for it. Because the Rift Herald is up, BLG wants control over this topside river. Bin teleports in to make sure that he's here for the fight as well. Does have his Mercury Treads completed, making sure that he can get out of the CC when he does get hit by it inevitably as the front line for BLG. But a TP coming in now for JDG with the Rift Herald down to 4,000
Viper
HP.
split.
JDG wants to fight for this. Viper's away.
Look at the flank from Nico.
Tries to throw out the Arc of Judgment. A disguised Nico as a minion in the jungle. We could see On go for something, but
Look at the
no,
Nico.
JDG hasn't seen him yet. They don't want to go for anything here. Let's see if they can make their way forward now. The Scion ulti leads the charge. Xiaoshu though with a slice and dice through the Scion to get away. JDG decides they don't want to take any.
I feel like he had a good angle there if he just sends it, but maybe they lose anyway. Like he had a good angle to get 3 or 4 there, but probably lose anyway.
That feels pretty good.
It feels really, really good. But again, you know, Caitlyn is one of these difficult champions that if you take that fight and you lose that fight, your power is kind of gone. And he's working towards what I'm assuming is going to be an IE second here, and that's where Gala will start to spike a lot. But I really think at this point, for JDG, you're looking towards 3 items, because this is the guy with all your gold, and this is the guy who has to deal with Bin.
Ooh, nice
Can't reflect.
engage there from Junja and Hongq going after Knight. The rebuttal buys a little bit of time for him. Solar's there underneath the turret,
nice
but
play.
there's no way the turret can do enough damage to make that trade even. So you got the mid-jungle combo, that Vi Ahri from Hongq and Junja finds their target.
Yeah, they're going to be able to find their target there. Knight died while channeling the ultimate. Otherwise, maybe he has enough damage to threaten Junja. Probably still would have lived, but this means with that play up on top side, Gala, Vampire push up through mid lane, create even more of a gold lead down on that bottom side.
Quick question, who kills Sion here? Well, Caitlyn can at some point, I think. Gigabin.
LDR, you are feeling very, very good. Caitlyn
3-0 BLG win, Bedge. Bedge? What is Bedge? Sleep? Sleeping?
Real chance, but the reset timing is so late that it means they're just giving over.
Is that an emote?
Yeah, Hongq takes the
Bed,
tier 1 turret
bed,
in
yeah,
the top
Bedge?
side, but remember that they did have to commit both Spirit Rush
Emote?
and the Vi ulti onto that top side play. So BLG knows, all right, they won't
So
be
many
able to
emotes.
position of setup. They won't have strength around this dragon. We've got to take every dragon we can to stop the stacking. So they will at least get that second one. But it's a 3,500 gold lead for JDG.
And JDG wouldn't have wanted to fight even if Hongq had his ult, because Gala hadn't based, and now he has the IE, so you definitely wouldn't want to force with your AD carry having the entire gold lead in his pockets, right? You've got to spend that up. He has
How many emotes are there?
He is out
Endless?
Infinity Edge, has the Untold,
Who decides which emotes there are?
But again,
Is there someone that works with this? Emote worker?
Just going to be stacking armor this game. You need to be able to get through him. Poppy's going to go in towards a dead man's next. So there's going to be so much armor, so much frontline power that Gala will have to be able to knock through. And it's all up to him to be able to do it. You get a little bit of help, obviously, from that Black Cleaver, maybe. But there's no guarantee that Xiaoshu's ever even hitting.
So you can have any emote you want.
You really do need the armor pen.
And I like this total gold chart here on the side of the screen, because we know that Gala has the
That's
biggest
cool.
lead individually in this game.
But how are you supposed to know all the emotes?
Second richest person
If there is
in the game,
endless
period,
emotes.
and he's still 2,000 gold behind. It really just shows how far ahead the case.
And who decides if it's a good emote or a bad emote? Like, if it's fine to have this as an emote. Is it free? Like, anyone can decide?
It's just crazy, as now BLG are looking for their opportunity to make a play. Tackle into the wall onto Hongq. Keeper's verdict, ready to juggle it. Golden Eclipse finds the kill. They try to get Junja away, but now Viper is on the hunt, chasing him down. He has transcended. Another ball breaker might try to get Junja out of the way, but no! Steadfast Presence stops that in its tracks. Viper gets a couple of kills here, and the Yunara is trying to catch back up.
Yeah, you do not want that to happen. As you're pointing out, despite the fact that it is this massive gold lead, Viper still has a lot of total gold. He is still a strong character in this game. Maybe not compared to Gala right now, but damn, he's going to have a lot of gold here on base. There's the second item already completed. Going to be working in towards that third. So
I feel like I should study emotes at some point. Maybe it would improve my experience on Twitch if I do a little bit studying emotes.
They have got a button up here. BLG, we're looking for this engage. It looks like a failed engage initially, but everyone comes in from BLG. The Solar Snare landed on 2 there from Knight. They burst out Hongq, and then they're just fully committing to this. So many flashes spent. They're going in on it. They know Gala's not involved. Xiaoshu's not involved. We are going to win this fight, and they're able to donate some of that gold straight into Viper's pockets.
And you mentioned Viper completing the second item, and it's one of those items, the Fiend Hunter bolts. Certain items in League of Legends are built by every champion of a class when you think about Infinity Edge, right? Something like that. But something like Fiend Hunter bolts only fits on a few champs, right? You think about Zeri, you think about Twitch, you think about Yunara, but the champs that it works on, it is so strong with, right? So Viper really going to feel a lot better now that he's got that 2-item power spike. Looking at other 2-item power spikes coming around, you've got both the Ludens and the Proto Belt for Knight. You've got the Unending Despair on Bin. It's more of what you were talking about earlier. Armor, 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 armor. Merc Treads feels good enough for the magic resist, right? On the other side, though, you do have the Proto Belt also completed for Hongq's Ahri. We've already talked about the Infinity Edge on Gala, and JDG are pressuring the tier 2 turret here in the mid lane.
Is emotes a Twitch only thing? Can you use emotes on other websites as well, like YouTube?
To do so. as JDG decide to head away. The Rift Herald is
Or is it Twitch only?
This is kind of it was timing out, so we just have to use it, Herald. So unfortunately for BLG, yeah, it's not great. Shelly's not even going to get a charge onto one turret, so that objective that BLG claimed does go to waste. And you can see here the total gold over the course of the game back at 10 minutes was JDG's biggest lead so far. And
for example, if I wrote what the hell in YouTube, it wouldn't show my self, no? No, of course it doesn't. I'm stupid. Of course it doesn't. So it's specific to my stream, so it's Twitch specific, and then it's specific to my stream on Twitch.
You pretend nothing else exists. As long as Gala is hitting bin, I think it's going to take him so long.
So it's unique to Twitch, but also unique to my stream.
The rest of the 4v4 is really, really good, right? As long as Gala can actually access those priority targets, I think it is very difficult.
Interesting.
So then it's up to JDG to try to preempt that. You know,
so much to learn.
You have to be the ones finding the engage. You got to control vision, control space with the traps, really set yourself up well so that you're the one starting the fight, and bin can't just walk in and make Gala back up.
Right, the question isn't just which AD carry has more money, more items. It's does Caitlyn from 1,500 gold lead kill Sion and Poppy faster than a Yunara that you already said was still very relevant in the game, kill Renekton and Vi?
Yeah, a 0-3 Renekton, right? You know, who's going to die faster? Well, often the gold on the Sion is a lot harder to deal with.
Well, the thing for JDG, though, is they're doing exactly what we wanted to see them do around this bottom side dragon. They are there first, as the 4th dragon of the game is about to spawn. They're trying to set up the Caitlyn traps, trying to draw these battle lines nice and early. But as you would expect, BLG will send bin in first. If he accidentally eats a cupcake, it's not a problem. He'll step straight through the banana brush, but the dragon has already been claimed by JDG, and now bin's eating a ton of damage. Final spark over the top.
Bin might die here.
Already almost dead.
Has ult out. They need to run now. Nico is decent, but he couldn't click E. Sadly, Nico couldn't click E.
Xiaoshu tries to get away. You can see Honky barely any HP left on the Ahri.
1 for 1, but Drake went to JDG, right?
Barely hanging on. It's a 1-for-1. However, JDG got the objective. BLG wants to try to get something back. They're going to go after at
least if the Nico can click E there, would be a way better fight, but I don't think she could.
Nice solar snare timing into the Radiant Volley right after, so Hongq doesn't get any value out of that one, but JDG will be happy taking the dragon.
This could be something.
Yeah, the amount of CC should.
Oh, that didn't stun, really?
Not quite
that didn't stun.
Hoping, so he tackles him just to the side of those 2 pine trees sticking out at the front. No extra stun, no extra damage.
Still nice. Shun pushes him back, and that covers Knight to push out the top wave, right? So that is kind of that 2-pronged play. As this is not going to be able to kill off Shun. You know, bin walked in, he ate so much CC, is still able to retreat back, but it looked like JDG was maybe going to run over this fight until On had a really good turn on the Pop Blossom.
Yeah.
Catches
Rapid fire Caitlyn. You? Or doesn't he need Lord Dominic's here? Look at enemy top and jungle item. That's an EU item, no? EW item. EU. Or?
We're looking at Junja. They chunk him down to about 40% HP, but they're not going to threaten anything lethal. Let's take another look at how BLG approach it.
So bin walk forward. Yes, you are very tanky, but
not killing the Sion or Poppy when you buy that rapid fire. You're potentially killing the Yunara Mel or Nico, but better if you kill front, no? Or build to kill front.
The Vi is going in deep. Both solo laners try to come in. On denies the follow-up. So Viper just focuses down the Vi, and then he can turn.
I think he needed to buy Last Whisper here.
On this Ahri as well.
And this is the second time this game that we have seen Shun flash towards his team once he sees the Vi ultimate on him.
Here we go again. Time to yawn for 5 minutes straight, because no reason at all. I don't understand why. What's the reason for me yawning like this? I'm not tired.
You pressed the doom button, and I'm not.
And it's not like I'm yawning always. I don't yawn for like an hour, and then I yawn a lot for 5 minutes, and then I don't yawn for an hour. It doesn't make any sense.
Look at the Poppy's build now. Poppy has steel caps, deadmans, as well as a lot more armor on top. They're probably both going to go Randuins this game.
Okay, On going forward with the Pop Blossom. They want the damage here into Junja, but the tackle doesn't hit the wall. On staying alive.
On might die here, but it's worth for sure. Mid is fighting as well. Kate is dead apparently. How did Kate die? And now you... Oh, the Ahri is dead as well? Wait, did we just lose the game for nothing? That's kind of what happened, no? We're not fighting over an objective here. We're just getting caught, everyone at the same time, everywhere, and the game is over.
JDG, let's check the time. Time of death, 25-50 in this game. BLG rip the game from their hands.
How did the Caitlyn die? Did she get hit by Sion ult?
Again, stealing the show, and JDG can do
What's even happened here?
Watch as their hopes in this game just slipped away from them.
Man, let's take another look at how it started here in two different
I would love to see how the Caitlyn dies. Like, it's a nice play by Nico, and it's just 1-for-1, right? Jungle for support. Can happen. Can happen. And now what? Ori's out, and Caitlyn is just like solo dying mid. And flashing. Still dying. And then Ori is still playing it and dies too. Because normally what should happen there is the Nico makes a good play and the Vi dies. And it's 1-for-1. Doesn't mean much. But if Caitlyn gets caught randomly and then Ori overplays and gets caught as well, and then Renekton tries to help and gets caught as well, you lose the game.
3,000 gold lead now.
And it makes the decision to go rapid fire even worse, because now you're not actually pushing.
Yeah, the Caitlyn is not gonna kill anyone, by the way.
You're slowed down so much.
That build is not good.
Probably because you were right in what you said earlier, my friend. It's
Needed to go Last Whisper third, no matter what.
I guess I don't really
Enemy
care
2 tank.
if you have 75% crit chance on Caitlyn right now, because that means you have a 75% chance to get your damage reduced by Randuin's Omen. Now BLG continuing to push forward here on the tier 2. The doubled up Baron Cannon minions just providing plenty of extra
Also, Lux
firepower.
offers nothing anymore.
JDG can't even try to defend this. They don't even need the extra
And Caitlyn doesn't offer anything either. This game is cooked.
Get the job done themselves. 4,500 gold lead. Baron for another 90 seconds. Pressure onto the tier 2 turret in mid lane now, as BLG is just easily walking from
It is
lane to
good
lane,
game.
taking whatever structure they want, and JDG is struggling to find any sort of a response.
I mean, even On is going to have a frozen heart. Knight has a Zonias. There's so much armor on this team.
And they have Mountain
It's going to
Drake.
be incredibly difficult. And really, you only have Viper as a target now, right? Like, that is it, because you can't go on the Zonia's Mel. You can't go on anyone on the top side. And you really can't win a fight by spending all of your damage on either. So JDG now, it's got to be basically Viper or a bust. And if you ult from really long range, and on Viper, he's going to R, Conmay step, he's going to pull you back into the middle of the team, and they're going to do what they've done to Junja a number of times this game.
All right, BLG, time to crack open the base, and it's not going to be met with much resistance at all. Tier 3 turret falls in the mid lane. As JDG still thinking about, do we even fight for this? Is inhib number 1 worth it? The answer seems to be no right now, as Vampire gets back from the fountain, joins back up with the rest of the
What do you even do here? You
You
just slowly lose, I guess. Can't engage on anyone other than Yunara. But they have Mel, Reflect, and Poppy W. So if you throw Charm, you charm yourself. If you use Vi Q, you get fucked by Poppy W. If you use Lux Q, you Lux Q yourself. What's the play? There is no play, I guess. Try to kill a Poppy here. He's losing. GG. This is over. Look at the Sion. Look at the Sion! Hell! Almost got the shield. Got the shield! We got the shield! Fuck, he has another one. We got the shield! We got the shield! We got the shield! We have it! We have the shield! Fuck, he has another one. Holy. That's Sion. Look at this Sion! This is not allowed! How is this allowed?
It was a great start from JDG, but a much better finish
Sion.
from BLG. Ben was just laughing on
That guy's good top, by the way. That guy's good
Takes
top
about
lane.
50 autos from Gala until Gala says,
Every game 1v9 war. I mean,
tries to walk past him and just dies.
it's not like his teammates are inting, but he's always doing well. Doesn't matter. Always doing well. Every game I watch, 2k gold lead and just smurfing, kinda. Yeah. Kinda. How did he die? I just wanna see. Did they show the entire thing? Why is he there? Why is he not here? Because they're fighting top as well. Look at what is he doing on the minimap? He pushes the wave and then what? So he's done with the wave and then he should hover top right. He's doing the pink. And then he goes to river and then he goes up again. I think he's doing the pink. That's why he gets caught. He was trying to kill the pink, yeah.
Do
what G2 did. I like what G2 did.
Which half should you draft first? Should you take it away if they draft the wrong half first? It's like Zyra.
It didn't make sense to me at first, but I think they believe MF is more annoying to play against. Like, it's harder to play Ashe into MF than to just play MF yourself.
Had to make the choice. Do you want Zen or Sion? They wanted the Sion. It was the right choice. Zen gets banned out in the second half. Now in game number 3, Zen gets picked by BLG. And what you're talking about MF, I love Zen into MF because the bullet time, you're just not going to get value against him in the ulti.
And I actually think this is really cool. So what I was going to say is not only are you stealing away the best combo with the Ashe, but Zen is generally considered the best combo with the jungler for Seraphine because you're buffing them up. Guess who else works very well with enchanters? Olaf. Olaf is a great diver here and can really
Has anyone noticed any difference in my sound today? Is my mic too loud? Is it fine? You can hear the stream all right? Everything all right?
Exactly. But what happens is Olaf gets
I put my mic up a bit and I put the sound up a bit. So it shouldn't be like any difference in terms of sound versus mic, but everything should just be a little bit louder in general. No issues today at all? Zero? Any issues? Anything?
And you have really good wave clear and really good poke.
Senna!
It might be
Come on now.
action, it might just be standard stuff, but I would actually really like that if it is.
It's better than yesterday. It's very good today. All right, sweet. Thanks for the feedback. Now let's enjoy this Senna. Oh my god. Where's the popcorn? I don't have popcorn. This is a popcorn game. Gotta get popcorn for this game. Which is the support? It's gonna be... Wait, actually. Actually, that is a good question. Who farms?
And the thing is about the Yorick too, you look at Olaf and you already mentioned
low-key better, as crazy as it sounds, low-key better, Seraphine farming, I think. As crazy as it sounds, I think it's better if Seraphine is farming. But I don't know if I trust Vampire to farm with Seraphine, and I don't know if I trust Gala to play Seraphine either, and Vampire to play Senna. So it kind of has to be Gala playing Senna, Vampire playing Seraphine, and I guess Vampire farming. That's awkward though. Maybe Gala just has to farm. Can the guy farm on support? I don't know. Sketchy.
Yeah, Renekton, very, very difficult. That's already gone. Ambessa, difficult. That's already gone. Gnar is one of the answers that's not a great answer, but sometimes people will go for it. So they're going to ban out.
Prepare popcorn for tomorrow? Might as well. No, it's going to be a banger tomorrow, I think. If they can just like refocus, it's going to be a banger. But a little bit scared for them losing focus after today. Anyway, let's focus on the Senna. So, if it was up to me, this Senna is not farming, but that requires the support to be able to farm. And I'm not sure if he can. Not every support knows how to farm, you know. Kind of has to be Gala farming, I think. And Gala playing Senna.
I wonder if they would consider going even more into this kind of like Olaf dive with something like a Galio. We also have to remember that Xiaoshu could play the Olaf top, right? It could be jungle or top. You know, it can go either way. I definitely don't.
Did you see Labrov's tweet? Labrov Twitter.
With Yorick, but damn, Anivia also really, really strong. You can't walk through the wall.
Yeah.
And they're
terrain creation is how
building walls.
Playing against Lost Tones was harder than Genji.
They create these terrain pieces.
This is what he tweeted.
I don't care if you're CC immune. The rules of League of Legends are you can't walk
playing against Lost Tones was harder than Genji.
Exactly. Man, that's got to be annoying for JDG because I feel like what they did was really clever here with the Olaf and the double enchanter bot lane. I mean, maybe it's AD carry center. We don't know.
All right.
You know, I think the theory of it
Happy
is
to help.
really clever.
I guess.
Ash has no
Happy to help.
And BLG's just like, haha, we'll build a house around it. Now we're playing Fortnite and Ash is at the top of the tower. You thought you had a 1v1 and we're getting
Tryndamere? What is going on? They're 0-2 down and they just send Senna Tryndamere, Olaf.
You want to walk down the side lane, but you actually win the 1v1 against Yorick. So
Tryndamere into Yorick top lane matchup.
You can often
what a helly! What a helly!
You can just focus down the maiden.
We are playing solo rank.
Can't really do anything in the 1v1. So this game is getting wacky at this point.
This is fun. I love this.
The reason why you don't want Senna to farm is because she gets more souls if she doesn't. And Senna has a really good supportive build that you can easily use here. So for example, if Seraphine is farming and she's getting items, it's fine for Senna to play a supportive build like Helia, Diadem. It doesn't have to be a Senna carry build, you know. Support Anivia, top Tryndamere, 80 Senna. Come on now! Making fire! Making fire!
Which On has played once in the LPL.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, he has brought it out before. People often, if they're going to go for this type of
It's gonna be Senna farming, I think. I don't think the guy can farm on Seraphine. I personally think though, Senna non-farming is pretty good. Maybe better. Because you get more souls and you have a great supportive build that you can use here. So you don't need a lot of gold. Like you're fine without gold. But if Gala is playing Senna and Vampire is playing Seraphine, I would just say it's better if Gala farms, because he's gonna farm better than Vampire will. So it's probably just farming Senna, which is, it's fine. You have good items to buy, but you get a lot less souls, right? A lot less. So On is playing Anivia support again. He did that game 5 of their playoffs, I think. I think he already played this once. I'm pretty sure he had a game of Anivia in their playoffs. Game 5. I don't remember against who, but I'm pretty sure he played it.
Choices to get an extra skill point there. Like, what are the actual answers going to be here? Is he still going to build a tier? You know, I think it's actually really cool because you're going up against a lane as well that has.
Let's see who has the support item. Actually, wait. Senna has to farm because he has the bot quest. He can't go support. He literally can't. They can't change it. Yeah, they can't. In 2026, you can't because there's the quest.
Played it, and it is gonna
He's using the same runes as me. Look at Senna runes. Mana flow, celerity. It's the same ones I use. Help! Oh fuck. We're gonna have to flash here, by the way. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Mid gap. 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 I already had the flash. But actually, they can't swap who's farming, by the way, because it's 2026 and you have the quests. Senna has to farm. Literally can't swap it. They have no choice.
1 minute into the game.
And so what Honku did as a response was actually pretty clever. He pulled the wave. He stacked it,
mid gap. Gigabin, Yorick Cinema.
His melee minions would get denied, so Knight just didn't.
Seraphine and Senna on the same team. JDG is cooking mad.
And the other thing here on this bot side is that there's a ton of sustain.
Freljord battle Poggers. Poggers I know. Poggers I know. Double Viking tech. Which one is the second Viking? Tryndamere? This support Anivia is low-key genius. Is Tryndamere a Viking? Who's the second Viking? Olaf and Tryndamere?
And I do also want to mention JDG is playing Soul.
It has to be Tryndamere then.
And that is one of the first skins I remember hearing high-level players, like challenger players, pros, talk about how
I didn't know that.
This is a skin that actually makes the character feel better because he doesn't
Winter
have that
Blessed Senna. That skin not bad, by the way.
Crits that's easier to auto-cancel. It's just a bigger slam. And so I always like to see those little tiny min-maxes on things, as BLG and JDG have brought
mid-gap. Mid-gap.
Game number 3 draft. I'm so excited when we get stuff like this.
Spellbook Anivia support.
Okay,
had to smite, by the way.
He's
so annoying!
From Junja, but is not able to do so.
Junja gonna be able to grab this up, and yeah, On just trying to be about.
I swear, On and Hyliseng are the same person. Player, not person. Same player.
And as our early game is
they're the same player. Is this not just Hyliseng? Walking the fine line between genius and madman? What? He just fucking baited all of them! He's smurfing! And he's out of there. He's just out! He's the best. And he's staying! He wants to fight! He has 1 HP! He wants to fight!
An MFE, but if you do hit that, that is still.
He canceled his recall because he wanted to fight. He's just Hyliseng.
LPL Finals rematch. It was 3-1 for BLG in the LPL Finals. The upper bracket, though, Finals was closer. Was 3-2, and now we are set up for a potential 3-0. So it could be that kind of continuation of improvement from BLG, getting more and more dominant, unless JDG can turn this around.
Tryndamere top with Ignite.
Closer.
All right, I'm so interested in this top lane because of
this is a crazy solo rank draft, by the way.
Split push. Sometimes you have champs who can split push, but also feel
Tryndamere, Seraphine,
you know, like Jax immediately
Senna, Olaf jungle.
But Yorick and Tryndamere are both like, I don't want to be in a 5v5.
Right.
They know what they are.
At all. They're 100% confident in their own identities as champions. They want to be in the side lane. Xiaoshu going in here as he flashes over the cage, forces the
there's no kill here, no?
And this is the thing with the Ignite. Ignite as well.
Flash for flash, I guess.
To be so respectful of the combat summoner spell.
You have to be very, very respectful. He'd already used that spin in, so Bin was able to force the flash with the cage, but then the commitment of the Ignite means he does have to base. You do always have to be careful in these matchups.
He's gonna die top, by the way.
Now trying to get this wave crash.
He went for plate!
Yeah, Shun's coming up.
Yo, isn't this guy inting? He's inting. He hasn't base, he doesn't have TP, he doesn't have summoners, no ward. He has 2 wards in his inventory. 2! He's an inter, no? He has 2 wards in his inventory, he just uses summoners, he walks up to hit the crystallize, which doesn't even give him a plate. He's an inter. Double ward up, no items, should base, no summoner, should base.
You know that Shun went up towards top side. So
what? He's inting. He didn't even get the plate.
Like Viper and Honor going to try to defend his next.
Meanwhile, Knight going in, using the ulti
missed the Q.
early on against Q.
There's no play, no? Next Q is play.
Knight, however, missed the initial 2-fold hex after he jumped between worlds there, so you're not going to really threaten lethal onto Q. Neither flash spent by the mid laners. But a 1-0 game for BLG. They're not even the gold advantage of the first blood ahead, so JDG building some slight leads for themselves in terms of the farm.
Going to be feeling pretty good about that. And one thing I will say for Xiaoshu is this is pretty dicey.
Yeah, Q forced to flash away there.
A huge mid gap, no? Keep in mind what Aurora did level 1 this game.
Plus the additional damage from the electrocute could have potentially been a lethal situation.
Okay, let them cook. Actually, I'm very curious about Senna items this game. He bought Cool. I don't understand Cool buy though, because as Senna, you want to get Shiv as soon as possible, and buying Cool delays your Shiv. 450. Isn't it better to just rush the Shiv as soon as possible, or boots? Like, sure, Cool is nice, but isn't Senna like a little bit more specific to getting item fast? Because once you get item, your game unlocks. And once you get boots, your game unlocks. That was a nice play, but I think there is just mid gap this game. This they got Drake.
Under turret, he hits the wind, becomes lightning. They know there's no flash on the way, and they accomplish the dive there.
No flash on the way.
BLG plus 700 gold, but JDG snags the first Drake for themselves. It is Ocean Drake #1 at 6.5 minutes in, so that's going to feel good for your laning phase.
I mean, it kind of just feels like Shun is just running this series, man. He has been so effective, and well, Junja hasn't really done anything wrong. You know, he's just power farming. You know, he's doing his thing. Shun has affected both the soul lanes.
The Trindamer has had 2 wards up the entire game, no? He's just not warding. Or he's had ward up the entire game, he's just not warding.
Close range, Vampire trying to get away, but a nice wall. Flash away from the high note,
2v2 kill, Ashe, and Evia. I guess they overstayed bot, they should have based, no? They didn't base for a long time.
Getting a kill now, not what you want to see. As JDG, it is now 1.3k in their advantage. You're pushing in on that top side, and you can see the Maiden even.
I just want to go back. Why didn't they base?
He's just powerful. He has been so.
Why isn't the Seraphine basing? They do this wave, right? They got Drake. They do this wave. Why isn't he basing? The Senna runs back to base, and the Seraphine just doesn't base. What is the Seraphine doing?
Shun has affected both the soul lanes.
What's he doing?
He's been able to really make a big difference. And
I guess the Nivea is just baiting him.
He's
just getting baited. He's just getting baited. Mid died again. Arrow. Sucks.
Worlds here are just too good, man. What can you say? They're doing everything right. You know, the level 1 from Knight.
Yeah, it's going Shiv on Senna. Pickaxe and whatever this item is called. Don't know the item name. This one builds to Shiv.
Uses that prio, gets the ulti down mid lane, where guess what? Ana has shown up to put Knight even more ahead. It is just this synergistic play of every time they have built themselves some time to get active on the map. They build a little tempo, and they just use it to the best possible effect. And it is looking tough. I mean, you never want to call a game this early, but BLG are firmly in the driver's seat.
And I will say that, you know, you say you don't want to call a game too early, especially in a game like this one that has these 2 side lane champions. Leads can mean less than they normally would because so much of the game is going to be about which one of those side laners is dominant. And yes, it is controlled.
How do you max on Anivia? It's not E, right? Or do you put 3 points E? Nice movement. Oh my god, he's just toying with them. Just playing with them. He should die there, you know, he has no flash. If he gets charmed, he gets E'd, and then if he gets E'd, he's dead. He gets Senna W'd. There's Senna ult, Olaf on the side. He should die there. He's just playing with them.
As Shun still has control over the top side here, he'll pick up the crab. JDG might have got the first Drake. So
Definitely has mental edge this series.
About what's going on the bottom side river right now, as Junja is going to take his recall, go back, purchase his Phage, and Shun will take the grubs.
I mean, Anivia is so comically slow, and you know he's on no boots, but Ana is just playing it really, really well. He looks so comfortable here, and it was a pretty hard force from the JDG bot lane. You know,
That's a free kill.
I feel like maybe tipped his hand a little bit because he's not even picking up souls. He's walking past the souls to just run straight at the Anivia, and they look for this encore with Junja behind him, but can't find it. So the flashless, eggless Anivia gets to live another day.
It's just like, this champion might as well be a target dummy. It can barely move, no summoner spells, no passive. But
Arrow again. Oh my god.
Viper with his
Holy.
second arrow from a mile away, and it's another kill for Knight. Hits him with the thumbs up. Thanks, buddy.
Holy
The
shit.
Viper's looking like Steph Curry down in that bot lane, brother. He's just hitting the long-range shots after shots. And Tonkyu, who is unfortunately getting dunked on
That's
as a
rough.
result. And it is Knight now, 3 early kills on the Aurora. And this is not just any Aurora, this is Knight's Aurora. That is terrifying. You know you have to reverse sweep, and now you're going to have to try to do it with some very squishy characters on your team against a very, very, very fed Aurora. He walks back, plays with vision, you know, shoots it from an area that he knows is going to be out of vision. Just now it's seen.
Great arrow.
And there's no flash, no real way for him to respond. Honkyu's behind him. And Shun is coming in on the side. There's just nothing Honkyu can do.
That guy's happy. He's loving these arrows. Probably almost as much as BLG is loving these arrows. Man, great shot from Viper. Really just enabling his mid laner. And you're talking about, yeah, this is Knight's Aurora. I feel like Aurora is one of those champions that you really see a lot of disparity between good performances and poor performances.
Did Anivia just ghost?
You have to have
Look at the Anivia!
He does.
This guy, he's canceling his
What the fuck is this? How can he just do this? Is he, like, I don't get it.
All right, you're not going back. You don't have tempo. You don't get to control anything here in this game.
He's just the best.
Forces a flash out of Vampire. Honestly, that close to the turret, when they're that scared of you, if they feel like they have
He's just the best, no?
You know that BLG's in total control.
I mean, this is a supported Anivia with
I'd be so tilted, I think, if I was playing against this. You can't catch this guy because he's just sidestepping everything you do. He kills you 2v2, and it's in between your towers, stopping your jungle recall behind their tier 2.
This is a little bit wild as Knight. Oh, there's the twofold hex. He does not have enough distance to finish the potential kill onto Honkyu here just yet.
He's everywhere but nowhere.
With a 2,000 gold
Doing
lead
everything
right
and
now.
nothing.
Top lane still mostly even. The majority of the lead so far in this game is
He's maxing E into W. He has 3 points E into W.
of those arrows from
That makes sense.
Viper
So
into
by
the
level 5 he has 3 points E, and by level 10 he has 5 points W.
This is a game where
Makes
you're
sense.
probably gonna get one fight. And if that fight goes well, you can claw your way back.
So what does he offer? He just offers a wall later, I guess, and stun and a little bit slow, right? Like damage is 0, no? Doesn't have damage. It's just utility.
Not the first dragon, so if they can continue stacking this, you know, you get a good roll on Soul. Maybe that could help you out. Cloud Soul, something
They're
like
not gonna
that
give
would be
this.
super effective, but BLG want to contest.
Okay, JDG.
Aurora has an ult, to be fair. Maybe this could be good for JDG, you know. Aurora has an ult. This could be good for JDG, I feel like. Arrow went wide as well. Aurora got it? Wow. Still could be good, though. 1 for 1 so far.
And Knight's going further forward. He wants to see if he can pick up Gala here too. Not quite enough damage for that one, but we do get a 1 for
1,
kills,
but
and
Aurora got the Drake.
objective stolen away by BLG is tragedy for JDG.
That really hurts. I mean, Knight gets it, and now
I feel like they should just choose the target and go, no? Instead of finishing the Drake. Aren't they stronger there? They know Aurora has no ult, and enemy is 2 and 2. So what that means is Sin and Aurora is coming from one side, and Anivia Ash from another. So when you're 4 like this together, so you have 2 people here, 2 people here, and you have 4 together. You just choose this side or this side and you go. But they play for the smite fight instead of just going. You understand what I mean? If they just go down or go up fast and give the stop doing the Drake, they should win that situation because they're 4 together and enemy is not. But flipping the Drake just seems like
Yeah, Honkyu has to play so afraid now because the wall
I don't know.
from On forced his
Pointless. Like whoever gets a Drake there, whatever, you know. If you wipe them, whatever.
Of all time. And seeing the skill order, thank you so much, observers, for this, because it does kind of show what I was expecting, which is 3 points into the Frostbite for the laning power, for the trading capability, and now he's putting points into the wall because he knows, okay, once we get into the bigger fights, I need the long extra distance on the wall to make sure this is relevant.
And especially, I mean, you're going Solstice Slay, you're getting an early Oblivion Orb, you're not doing damage, right?
Right, it's utility Anivia.
Exactly, your utility Anivia, you're trying to be really, really annoying, and now he picks up the Swifty boots, so his job is just going to be running around, harassing them. And Xiaoshu does have his Hydra, so has that completed. So you're going to have a lot of sustain, you're going to have a lot of wave clear. But the problem is when, even if you have a winning matchup in a 1v1, when your opponent has winning everything else, they don't have to interact with you. You know, if I'm Bin, I'm saying, no, I'm never going to trade with you. I'm just going to hit the wave. Like, I'm not going to give you a chance to get a solo kill because those are the only real ways that I think JDG get back in top lane.
Okay, they might have a pick onto the bird, though. The punish on the Anivia.
He's so annoying. And he doesn't even go down to egg.
On drinks his potion.
Watch him go into the tower just to proc the egg or something stupid like that.
The Anivia annoyance comes on back. This is the most hair-pulling experience if you're JDG. This stupid Anivia.
What was that Anivia troll YouTube video called? McLaren Anivia? Is that the one? McLaren Anivia? Are we just witnessing McLaren Anivia in 2026? Is that it? Is he just rage baiting all of us?
Just another day on the Rift. Junja showing up mid lane here, wants to go after Viper. This is what you draft the Olaf for.
Nice. Wow, movement, by the way.
Viper firing back there with the enchanted crystal arrow. Shun shows up, and the bodyguard guarantees the VIP. It's the first 3 letters of his name. Gets away.
Ooh, I like what you did.
I didn't even mean to do that. That was an accident.
I can't even say if the Anivia is useful or not. Because he's doing a lot of good stuff, but I don't know if it's useful.
Percentage this game, which is pretty insane, as On has just been living.
It just seems very annoying.
Turns out means it's past the halfway point.
I guess that's being useful.
Percentage, again, for people who aren't super familiar with the more less known stats, is being past the halfway point in the lane. So they're shoved up. They're constantly making sure that they're putting the pressure on their opponents. Shun's going to secure the Rift Herald now too. So overall, BLG has got most of the objectives here in this game. They secured all 3 grubs. They secured the Herald. They stole away that second Drake from JDG. So 3 out of 4 ain't bad. As Knight now goes in after Hong Q yet again between worlds, setting it up. Proto Bell to try to knock it down, but
WW. Oh!
No,
wow.
weirding flash. Beautifully placed.
That's how it works.
To guarantee that he gets the kill on the enemy mid laner, takes the double buffs along with it. Gala getting stopped by the wall here for a second. Remember that On still has his egg
fucking
and to continue chasing.
Look at that Anivia. Is he baiting his team now? Yeah, he's just baiting his team now.
Overplays his hand, gets over
Anivia! I can't. It looks so troll. Where did that axe go? Where did that axe go?
And he guesses wrong as Viper runs left, the axe flies right, and it's a single kill there. Finally, JDG get a punish for all the aggressive movement from BLG.
Okay.
Can't blame Shun though, because he did have the most powerful member in the game, the support Anivia behind him.
Support Anivia with Swifty boots and an orb.
Exactly. He was confident that he had.
Got the Shiv on Senna now, and soul count is how many? 46 in 17 minutes.
On this game.
And now he's doing.
What?
He's doing Hex Optics, no? Shiv into Hex Optics. Yo, someone is watching my stream. Someone's watching my stream.
The big winner here knocks down the first tower of the game. 17 minutes in, so pretty late first tower, but it is.
Who is leaking?
Massive lead for Knight,
who is leaking info? I feel like someone is leaking info.
I want to try to find On here, but both spells miss. He just walks away from everything. On is just, he's feeling it, man. He's loving the support of Anivia this game. One thing that I can at least say for JDG, though, is the gold lead for BLG, although it's slightly larger than it was, you know, 6 minutes ago or so, it's still not growing a ton, so it's not like they're just completely hemorrhaging the game. But the problem is the turrets are low HP. They already lost the one in mid lane. They're about to lose the one in bottom lane. BLG has control over the bot side river. Their jungler's nowhere nearby, so this is going to be another Drake going the BLG direction. And now Bin has fully purchased his Trinity Force. Up until this point, he was dealing with the full item Tryndamere, where he was still having components himself because he stopped off for those steel caps, and X executioners, that means a really delayed first item power spike. Now he's caught up though, so the Yorik's going to feel that much better.
Yep, is going to be feeling a lot stronger as a result here. So they're just going to send Honkyu up towards that top side for now.
What is Anivia buying? Proto Belt? Is it Proto Belt Anivia? Proto Belt? Green support item, Oblivion Orb, Swifties. Tier? Proto Belt?
It's also a weekend right now, Azale, so that means everybody's
queuing up as we speak.
Everybody's not at school, everybody's not at work, everybody that is watching First Stand is about to queue up some support Anivia.
I should play some support Anivia.
Proto Belt Anivia with tier.
That'll go well in my game.
This is what at least one of
what
your teammates
is
is thinking when you press queue up right now. So if you're at the edge of, you know, like a 99 LP type of situation,
maybe ban Anivia because they could be on your team. They could be on your team.
You might want to let that one slide this time, as Ben will be able to just take out this tier 1 turret here in the top lane. Now the gold is starting to run away a little bit more. We're almost 3,500 ahead on the BLG side.
I feel like Knight is so good on his champs. I know I've said this a few times already, but when you watch him play the champs he's like comfortable on, he's just so good. Which is turning out to be a lot of champs actually. He has a pretty big champion pool. He plays some weird champs, but he plays them really well. Yo, that hits. Oh my god.
That was going to be the third one if he didn't flash. So all 3 arrows aimed at Honkyu. Kill, Summoner Spell Force. These arrows are locked on target.
Yeah, and Honkyu is that target. Has just been bullseye after bullseye there.
Like his Aurora is crazy good, I think. For sure the best Aurora, no? Not even close. He makes that champ look unbalanced, I feel like.
Your cooldowns are so low because you're getting the cooldown refund on your spin just from crits, and then you're also getting
like when he plays it, it looks really OP.
It's passive, so you're getting a lot of mobility, a lot of spins to be able to try to chase people down. But he's just not even getting a chance to really interact. You know, they're doing a couple little short trades here and there between him and Ben, but the Tryndamere has not really been a part of much of anything. You know, did have that one kind of.
All right, let's see what the Senna builds now. I don't like the fact that she has a dagger in her inventory. If she builds an attack speed item, she's not going to deal damage. She needs Infinity and Lord Dominic's, I think. So let's see what she builds. The dagger doesn't give me a lot of hope. Not a big fan of the dagger. Sorry. They don't kill anyone. They don't kill anyone. Maybe one. I got one.
So at least they get one back, but BLG always gets more.
Yeah, they're just getting more and more here. Jinja was trying to hold on to that Ragnarok for so long, but he just gets walled off. He's getting whittled down, and then the tower gets killed beside him. So Shun has nothing dissuading him from going forward there. Goes straight in on him, finishes him off. Honkyu got a massive combo across multiple members. You hit this Bio's Bear, snap them in. And Xiaoshu do anything? No, I mean, he's just going to have to retreat.
Yeah, Xiaoshu spinning away, tries nope again the cage. The placement on these has been great from Ben. He's always catching Xiaoshu just at the very edge, but now Xiaoshu wants to turn it around. He drops the Ignite. He's going in after the Yorick, but once again, it's the MVP from BLG. Support Anivia there with the wall to make sure there's no kill for Xiaoshu.
Yeah, there with the wall, there with the stun, as that could have been an angle for Xiaoshu, because even though Ben
this could be something, I don't think he knows.
Lane, and again, I touched on it, such low.
Yep, he has no idea.
From that spot.
Now he knows.
Great combo from
he's just gonna ult out.
Yeah,
he doesn't have ult actually.
Over the wall, gets away. He'll be safe for now.
It's fine anyway.
4-0-3 on the Aurora, no deaths and 7
Ash is building Serpent's Fang.
Really great game for him. Again, a lot of that.
And sadly, the Senna is building an attack speed item here. Attack speed here is bad. Need to buy Infinity Edge or Lord Dominic's for sure.
That was about the only single mistake. TP coming in now from BLG. They know
don't think attack speed is going to be good here.
Does not have his ulti. This is your chance to punish him. Maybe find that kill. Spin away over the wall though. Plenty of mobility on this champion. It's one of the things that makes him so
arrow.
Hey,
my god, every time.
Wrong with his ultis. The Ash arrows are point and click this game.
Wait, they're walking up mid.
Day at the range. Okay. Bullseye after bullseye after bullseye for Viper. He has been on fire in this game.
Look at the Aurora flank, by the way. Look at the Aurora. Look at the Aurora.
They don't know Knight's behind him.
Okay,
Olaf is killing Ash though.
Nice kill coming out there for Junja as Shun puts the pressure into the back line and Vampire dies. Junja going after On, but now the Olaf is isolated. He has no Ragnarok. The cage is there, and Ben sends him straight to jail. Nice.
I think this game is gonna be over very shortly.
Lose their 80 carry for the first time, but just like last time, BLG gets more.
Exactly. I mean, Knight was in such a good position. It was good that they did go in. But now, 23 minutes in, they are on the Baron. Yorick crushes through Baron so quickly. I can do a lot here. Mentioned BLG.
What just happened?
They'll be contested. I mean, Junja's dead for a long time, and no one else here is even moving over into the area. So this one is just going to be gone. They're already up 5K. And the Dragon probably not even going to be taken. So we can see them one more time. BLG was laying a trap. You can see Knight was moving over behind them. And they were trying to set up for this pincer from Knight. But JDG find a good angle here. Ragnarok is
Anivia wasn't the best.
incorrectly there from On. Couldn't find the right angle to actually wall off this Olaf from him. Knight gets into the back line though. Pushes
Could have probably saved the Ashe there. Or at least forced Olaf flash.
Sectioned off from his team. Ben commits the flash. Don't know that he really needed to, but they...
Proto Belt Anivia support with Tear and Oblivion Orb. And green support item. Swifties. Spellbook. It's literally McLaren Anivia, by the way. If I didn't know better, it's McLaren Anivia. Some MOBA Fire... What is it called? MOBA Fire and game mode was like... you got random items. What's this called?
You know, I was saying...
Ultimate Bravery? Ultimate Bravery.
Is he gonna go for Aurora?
It's Ultimate Bravery, McLaren, and Anivia. If I didn't know better, that's what we're watching. Look at his items. And Summoner and the way he's playing.
Another nice arrow onto Hongq. Not enough to kill him here just yet as the Dawning Shadow goes through and it's a ton of burst.
He's a genius.
That's a huge shutdown onto Knight. But what about On and Viper back towards Junja? They get
He's just a genius.
Again, defensive ulti from Shun to stay alive, but he's rooted up underneath
Look at the wall.
That last shot will not have enough damage to kill him.
It's very impressive.
Meanwhile, the Yorick split pushing over in mid lane, trying to make sure that BLG maintains multiple points of pressure. The shutdown on Knight was huge, and that's his first death the entire game. But Ben just continues pressuring.
You can like see his, how do you say? When someone gets really comfortable and they're able to do something like this, you can see how good they are, you know?
Yeah, Ben just going
like when they can
here, Frozen Heart second.
When they can do things outside of the box and make it work. It's like proof of how good they are, I feel like.
Relevant in this game because Ben is just never going to give him the opportunities to find those all-ins. So
I don't think I could do this.
Fight one more time. Hongq gets caught by
the way he's doing it.
CC chain, but look at the route. It's all about the center route.
It's very impressive.
As he goes forward to get the damage down on the Hongq, that lands. So
Proto Belt into Q from Anivia.
From Vampire, the full combo from Hongq.
It's so good.
Down. Look how long these routes last. As they had the Seraphine route into the Hui route, they had all kinds of routes coming.
Wait, I'm up in... I thought I was here. Sorry, I don't know how long I've been there. I should have been here. Sorry.
Finish him off, and now it is Soul Point, 6K gold lead. And JDG are going to have to try to find an opportunity to make their move. And it's going to have to be an incredible one to give them a chance of coming back.
2,000 gold lead for Knight, 2,000 gold lead for Viper.
I don't like the Senna build. Look at the Senna build now. It looks so weird now.
And this is just
no damage.
Problem, man. Xiaoshu, I was talking about how
Mosquito Senna.
That has a very high emphasis on split pushing because
no Infinity, no Lord Dominic's.
So much of the normal momentum. But Xiaoshu is not in a spot where he's able to really do a whole lot. Frozen Heart completed on bid.
Doesn't deal damage, but it's very annoying.
Smushed into the terrain. It's kind of a moment where it's so close that he doesn't actually have viable pathing, either left or right, so his character just kind of glitches out and stays there.
He has become one with the tower.
Yeah, now I am tower, and tower is me. It's not exactly where you want to be. 6,000 gold lead for BLG as a team. Still no deaths for either Bin on the Yorick or On's powerful Anivia.
Yeah, I mean, the Anivia is definitely the true goal, you know? Elder, Baron, those are okay objectives. Support Anivia, that's the real prize. At this point,
Support Anivia creates objectives around himself. Anywhere Anivia is, that's the objective.
Yep.
Split pushers are down in the side lane now, as Bin and Xiaoshu are both level 17 on their champions. Obviously the highest leveled in the game because of the state of the top lane with the quest. Hongq over an entire level behind Knight. It has been so rough for him in this Hui game. When you pick a control mage and the enemy team just targets you constantly, especially with things like the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, which are always a threat that you constantly have to be mindful of, it can become such a problem.
Sad way to lose, no? Slowly like bleeding out.
Yeah, I mean, Viper made a pit stop for the Serpent's Fang because there's tons of shielding, obviously.
At least they gave a draft a go, I guess. Like they tried something. Didn't work, obviously.
But now still has the IE. So
at least they tried something.
That, he still gets the IE faster there than Gala.
Rather see that than just
very strong right now.
running back what is not already working, right? Like they already got it confirmed game 1, game 2 that standard stuff will not be working, so they try something in game 3. I think that's fair.
It's probably game. We've probably won the series, and
I think that is completely fair.
Through that barrier because his flash is back up with Spellbook.
Okay, so we've got the cleanse for On. We've got so much damage on the carries of the BLG squad. And you can see in the inventory of Bin here, he does have the Caulfield plus the pickaxe, so he is getting close to having his 3rd fully completed item, as Xiaoshu just continues clearing waves. This split push state is kind of just locked forever in Purgatory, as they'll both just, like you said earlier, you kill the wave, you don't engage with the other guy. But when the other guy has more other guys that come to help him, all of a sudden it's harder to not interact. As Knight nearly insta-kills Gala. Shun's coming in to try to finish the job. Ulti for the defense as On and Knight continue to back up their jungler, but it's a lot of damage onto Shun, and he's shut down. Nice kill for Junja. Gala still barely staying alive now as well. 4v5 on the rift. Xiaoshu tries to flash over the Flash Frost. He goes after Viper, but again, it's On with a beautiful wall that the Tryndamere cannot get through. An arrow to the heart.
Nice kiting by Viper there.
As now a flash out from Vampire keeps the rift to 4v4. Baron's gonna spawn in 5 seconds. The Mountain Drake is already up, but Shun is off the map. Finally a route onto the Anivia, but they can't follow.
You can really see the Seraphine value here. Senna was 1 before. She's full again.
Remember, he doesn't have his teleport either, so he's just going to go back into the bottom.
Look at this value. Crazy, no?
BLG knows
everyone's full.
This would be Soul, but even if JDG takes it, they're going to have the pressure from Bin at the same time to break into the base. On and Viper still hanging around, still seeing if maybe they can harass this enough.
Arrow is good. He has Mercs though. He has Mercs. He has Mercs. It's fine.
He shouldn't have enough damage to take this kill. It ends up sealing the
kind of throwing here a bit.
BLG mid laner instead, but the entire time Bin is in the enemy base. The damage from the minions should be enough to finish off the tier 3 turret. So the fight actually favors.
Could get Baron now as well, maybe.
The arrow play
kind of throwing here.
Blunder as Knight gets punished trying to kill
maybe.
Hongq, and we'll see if JDG can take this objective. This would be huge.
I love it. You got to flip it. You are behind. You got to take risks. And Knight is dead with no TP for a long time. This might be their best shot.
Hongq coming around on the flank.
It's a hard Baron to do though. Hardest.
Well, Hongq has to flash.
Up to 3.
The wall would have sealed his fate otherwise. As Shun goes into the middle of everybody and Gala's already down.
Unless
now
Olaf.
Tries to flash
maybe Olaf.
Backline goes after Viper and finds them. Vampire's trapped in the pit. It's a double
Tryndamere time.
As Shun kills the Olaf, and now the Tryndamere is trapped in the middle of everybody. He's unkillable for now, but he's got to get something, and all he gets is buried in the river. BLG, they're just too far ahead. They stop the Baron attempt. They complete the
I don't think it's a good idea to go in pit with Seraphine and Senna when you don't have flash. You should play on the left, no? When enemy is coming, you just play on the left, up river, and then you fight that way. In pit it's not possible, no? You have no flash, so you're just standing in there dying to the Baron / AoE damage from everything else going on. There's no way staying in the pit is correct. As Senna.
For long enough for that Tryndamere to arrive, for that Tryndamere to really make a difference. And by the time he finally got there, he just gets CC'd. He gets
got Lord Dominic's now for Senna, but still no infinity. It feels so bad. 30 minutes plus no infinity when you're a crit. Here I'm thinking if you play on the left, you know, all the way up to the left, the fight might be playable, but in the pit, 0 chance. 0, for sure.
Hongq was forced to flash thanks to the Anivia, so he's not even involved. So the Olaf is completely sectioned off. By the time Xiaoshu arrives, just look at this. He gets caged in. They pull back.
Nice wall here by Anivia. Zoning the way.
By the Anivia, he just doesn't have enough time to do anything.
And even when Hongq tried to get back into the fight, On just walls him off again. Hongq's contribution to the fight was he managed to hit Spiraling Despair on Olaf that he can't kill, and he Magma Fissured the Baron. That's it. He wasn't really able to do anything else. And so now BLG with an 8,000 gold lead, with everybody back alive again, are once more looking to breach the base. Remember, the bottom lane inhibitor is exposed because of Bin's split push earlier. As we'll see pressure on the mid and top lanes for the time being, as everybody in BLG is...
Knight.
A big blunder for the mid laner gets punished, and that's going to slam the break to the Baron push.
Knight tried to go
What is
across
going
the
on?
veil. He tried to angle it so he could hop over the edge, but instead he face planted into the wall.
I think maybe
so
Infinity Edge tomorrow.
Over the wall there, and he had his flash, but at that point he had already been rooted up, so it's too late. He tries to go between worlds, tries to bounce back, gets picked. So what was a pretty flawless game from him. He's gotten picked a few times. Now JDG know, okay, we have a slight advantage on the map. We got to push. We got to try to make something happen. But the Anivia is so annoying at just stalling out any and all of these plays.
I'm really loving, I know we've been joking about it a lot, but I'm actually loving the support Anivia pick in this game.
It has had crazy impact, unironically.
Yeah, it's so good against Tryndamere and Olaf. We've seen how good it is against Honku as well.
So this is what I was calling out. He tries to hop over the edge, but he angles it not quite right. So he bounces off the wall. And because he had already been hit by a spell, you can see where they are in Viz. You see that little flicker when you hit them with a spell in Viz. So he gets rooted up, and they do get that kill. Knight had been deathless, but has been caught a couple times. BLG still fully in control. Soul's going to be on the table in a minute 20. So that's
120 souls on Senna here.
Something we haven't touched
Infinity Edge in 2,000 gold.
And he is closing in on his IE. So
In 2,000 gold, he has Infinity Edge. So if they can by any means make that, you know, there's hope. But need Infinity Edge for sure.
He doesn't really care about you walling him off because he's just going to shoot over the wall.
Yeah, that's the big problem. His stacking is on point
Can I
here
get the wall
so
here?
far. At 25 minutes, the average amount of stacks in Tier 1 play is about 76. Obviously, we're very far past 25 minutes at this point. So I don't think a lot of times we might not even get to 35 minutes in a game these days. So.
He has a big number, regardless of if it's on pro pace or behind pro pace or ahead of pro pace. That's a big number. 120 is very, very scary. Normally, when you look over and you see Senna's got 100 stacks, you start sweating a little bit because it is just infinite stacking. It's not only additional AD, it is range, which is one of the most powerful stats in the entire game.
Range and move speed. That's the, I know that you and I have had that conversation a lot, but it's just like, yeah, that gives you the opportunity to deal damage when they can't deal damage to you.
Exactly.
So, BLG with control over this bottom side river for now. Again, on just being as obnoxious as possible. 10 seconds until the Drake spawns. It is Mountain Soul, again, for BLG.
No cleanse now from Gala. So he just forced that. That is actually a really big deal. If he gets hit by any CC, it could be a game ender.
Okay, still just shots being fired back and forth. Nothing big committed here just yet. Bin is also joined up for the fight. You can see Xiaoshu on the side here as well. The Tryndamere almost level 20. The Yorick is level 20 as the Dragon is started by Viper. The Ashe has a lot of DPS for this. And remember that On is just going to use walls to keep everybody from JDG away.
It's Friedrich.
Buy a little bit more time.
But maybe they can play the fight.
Secure the Mountain Soul. Yes, they've got it. Xiaoshu wants to go in. He's going after Viper. He tries to spin forward.
Surfing ult is not the best.
The AD carry keeps him alive.
Senna is strong here though.
On to try to respond. Killing spree for Shun as they take out the top laner. Junja dies trying to go forward. Now it's a 5v3 for BLG. Gala barely missing, getting stuck out there by the Flash Frost. Arrow shoots out. Arrow collides. Vampire tries to be the sacrificial
flash.
lamb
Oh,
for
can't
his
flash.
team. He flashes forward. He wants to take the blast cone to try to get away, but no!
Oh, it's game.
Vampire falls and the sun shines bright for BLG. Honkyu's golden, and it'll just be a trophy for the LPL #1 seed. Double kill for Viper, and it's a 5v1 push. Gala Senna, there's not enough souls on Summoner's Rift to get you out of this one. Bin will chase him back to the fountain. There's no Summoner spells available. The Nexus turrets will be the next target. The first time they fought, it was 3-2 BLG. The finals was 3-1 BLG. And now at first stand, it's 3-0 BLG. They'll make their way to the finals tomorrow to face G2 and try to become
G2 BLG tomorrow.
They just keep getting
Revenge
better. And what
potentially
a series
for G2.
On. This guy was incredible.
If they have
have
it in them to refocus for tomorrow. It's gonna be tough for sure after today, but not impossible with the right tools, which as far as I'm aware they have on site with coaching staff. So fingers crossed for a fucking good final tomorrow, no? Pretty excited. Have a nice Saturday evening, everybody. Bye bye. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.